Hello. Really quickly show the computer, blah, blah, blah. Let's see how many people come in here. Wait, I thought this was supposed to be guns. Why are we looking at computers? You're looking at what I make you look at, bitches. Look at it.
Oh no. We've got to sit here again. This man is a tuber fish. My new DWX is on the way, and I will not be putting these on there. These are off my old DWX.
That gun is gone.
I'll try not to sing as much today, but come on, you guys like me singing new.
No, 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 no.
So we got an AK up there, got the bloop tube, got AR, because you got to have AR. There's the Rex 01 Tactical that Goosey paid for. Actually, Lycan and Goose paid for that one. Thank you guys. I love you. You boys are nice. A couple of other GNUs. Hello. A couple other GNUs. Well, that's an incredibly cheap Glock 43X. Somebody should be talking on me. You should let me high power out the DWX. You can suck my bing bong because you did the last trigger on a DWX that had to get reverted because you did too good a job, Gopher. Anything new up there? Put the Remington 870 back up there because it just looks good. I actually put Glocks behind my head so that when people ask me if there's Glocks up there, I can just point. So that's interesting. Howdy, gun guy and gun guy's teddy bears. Hello, we're here to just watch over this man. Although we wish we weren't animated so we could turn our heads when he pulls out his ding dong. Yes, I'm looking at you. Look into my slothy soul and beg me for mercy. You shall receive none from me. Some people are scrolling through going, what the hell are we watching? Hey, AG, what's up? I've got a new item on my bucket list. What, my DWX? Fuck you. Nice wall. Just ordered your PDP Pro X. It's a good looking gun. Definitely give the PDP Pro some good credit, man. It seems like a pretty solid GNU. Yo, Jimmy Doug, what's up? Hey, far out. What is going out, man? Far out, dude. Far out. Far out. Far out. Don't worry, we'll get there. I thought I just cleaned that lens. Oh, it's because this light's on. Hang on a second. That light blows out because of the LED. There we go. Yeah, that makes it a little better. There we go. I also got 2 new LED strips that I'm going to put up back there. So, did I change the gun wall? I redid this area. So this is now a gun area for filming, but not really. Wow, the wall's looking great. Thank you, good sir. Look, you can even see Glocks because I'm playing nice. There's also more handguns up there. I wiggle stuff around. I ate before this. Do I take them down every night? Yes, a lot of them are available for sale through my FFL, which tomorrow night. So Fridays is when the website will be updated moving forward for used guns and new guns. But yeah, if it's something that I'm selling, it goes back in the store every day. I think 10 guns stay up there all the time though. Your Yeet? Oh, you want to buy the Yeet cannon? Bro got out of my closet last night and again tonight. Going to make me subscribe, Lamal. Lol. Picked up the Wilson Combat 45 mags as you suggested. Put 200 uninterrupted round through the Rock Island GI. So far, so good. Glad to hear it, dude. So they have the solid plastic follower that holds the rounds up at a better angle for the RA Rock Island ramp. Yes, they are real guns, Lalo. They are real guns. Believe it or not, they are real guns. Guns are real. They cannot hurt you unless I'm using them. Michael, what is up? So the DWX will be here Friday, so it'll be on the wall for the Friday live stream. And 2 other guns are on their way. 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 4, 7, 6, 5, 1, 4, 7, 2, 2. Comes from Walter and Parker Mountain Machine Compensator and Barrel. Damn, nice, M-Deck. I'll take the Gerson to help you with your DWX. Dude, I will just find you a Gerson. You're not getting my Gerson. But I will find you one. In a little while, I'll stand up and show all the guns closer. But if you want to see all the guns, just go back to the beginning of the live stream. I showed all the guns. Do you have a scar by any chance? Yeah, I got one right here. And one back here. A dog bit me. So I'm hearing me and Uncle Percy need to stop by on Friday. Yeah, you guys need to stop by. Also, yeah, bring me that 1911 when you're done with it. Biatch. Sorry, I see a picture of Tim Hawkins. Tim Hawkins is a comedian that sings. But yeah, so I just ordered the Dan Wesson DWX from Iron Valley Gopher. And they're sending me a onboarding swag ammo can because apparently I've never ordered from Iron Valley before. It's technically a green, but it does look very gray, Legends. Yeah, I know what he meant. I'm just goofing around. Make the shirts that say that. What's that? What'd I hear? What'd I say? Did I say something funny? Maybe you have them. Who knows? Those are most important. What? What's most important, son? Justin said hi. So I'm thinking, I'm talking to Elliot hopefully tomorrow about making more Jiminy Show shirts and the casing couch shirts. But I also might make one because a long time ago I came up with the name for my autobiography, and I think I might make some shirts for that because I'm half Italian, half Korean. So I was going to call it Soy Sauce and Salami. So I might make those shirts. You seem like a cool guy. Thank you. You seem pretty cool so far too, Eric. Hey, Buka, what's going on? Mike comes in and says, hi. And I say, hi. Hello. I am sorry. I cannot continue with the Amerikansky accent. I must speak in the voice of my people. You can make the soy lami all you want. I am not doing that. Walmart used to make shirts that had one-word sayings on them, kind of making fun of the iCarly pedophile guy. That's my Hawaiian name, Soy Lami. Thank you. What ammo type would you suggest for a Winchester 30-30? Depends on the year, Legends. Older ones, you really don't want to run like the 170 grain. You want to run like the 165 grain 30-30 soft points. Maybe even the 150 grain soft points. If it's a newer one, they're much, technically the pre-64s are the better built because they're all one metal, but the newer ones can take higher pressures. So if it's a newer one, whatever, 167, 170, but I would go with the softer grain if you're going to be shooting a vintage one. I shoot my grandfather's 1939 every now and then, and I run 150 grain. Find my lever before you find me a Gerson. Dude, I can get you right now a Henry 44 Magnum for a very good price. Oh, no, excuse me, it's the Marlin. It's the Marlin 44 Magnum. How would I know the year? Actually, Winchester will give you the serial. You can type into Google Winchester 3030 serial number lookup, and you can just put in the serial number. You'll be able to find it. If it's in the 1 or 2 millions, it's in the World War II and older range. If it's 3, 4, 5, then it's much newer. If it has a fiber optic sight on it, it's definitely newer. Thermal and clip-ons and nods are everything, and drones and 3D printers. Nice. 150 grain core locked, absolutely. Is that a mag fed pump 12 gauge on the wall behind you? Why take a pump mag over semi mag fed? Is the capacity really that much better? What about reliability? It's not really about capacity in and of itself. McPherson, it's actually for carrying more ammo already ready to go. Because if you have the mag tube, you do have to load, and unless you can do that quad load like speed gunners do. Then having a mag allows you to just, yeah, that's its own real benefit. Send me pics. All right, I got to figure out who the hell had it now. I think it was RSR. Go to RSR's website, dude. Just look it up on RSR. Look up the Marlin 44 Magnum lever. It's just your basic one, but it's on sale. Stone is one of my business partners, so he has access to my websites. How much is the AR-12? There is no AR-12 up there. Hey, cats, what is going on? Denise says, gun, please. No, you can go get your own, please. Yes, all of my guns are semi-automatic, except for like some of my long guns are pump or lever actions. Do I have an AK? Yes, there's one right there, up on the wall. Nice collection. How many guns how many guns do you have? No idea. I don't count how many guns I have. Go to WinCityArmory.com. You can look at my current inventory that's listed there, as well as send me emails and messages about looking at other toys. No, they are not airsoft. Opinion on the HK VP9. I've got the VP9 with the match grade weight up there. It's an older VP9. Man, those things shoot really well, especially when you add the weight to it. Do I like Springfield? Yes. Homer is one of my favorite residents. Do you have an AR-15? Look at my wall before you comment. What the hell? They made guns from Call of Duty into real things? Yep. This generation doesn't understand that the guns came first, but yes. Do I like the big bore air guns? Honestly, Seabass, I've never shot one of like the 50 cals or the 68 cals, but I think I would like it if I ever shot one. Do not have a light machine gun. What's the gun beneath the pump grip? That is a high point yeet cannon and a Beretta 92 FS Ghost. So the one that's turned technically the wrong way is the high point yeet cannon. The reason why it's turned the wrong way is because they put yeet cannon on the side without the ejection port. How do you feel about the CZ Bren 2? I actually like the Bren 2. It has a lot of good features. They improved on the Bren 1 with their bolt release, the non-reciprocating charging handle, and the fact that you can put a folding brace on or stock on them is pretty cool. Have I ever had an airsoft? Yes, Cosmic. I actually got into airsoft before I got into real guns. What's the blue and white gun under the YouTube thing? That is just a 3D printed. I can't pick it up because it's gun shaped. I was going to pick up one I have over here. But they're just 3D printed, and they just say, one says Win City Armory. Buddy said it was a Winchester 94 Ranger. If it's a 94 Ranger, it's probably newer than 64, and then you can probably run any 30-30s. What's up? How do you feel about the P320? I like the 320. The ones that are currently involved with the uncommanded discharges are from before 2021. Also, I prefer top-level versions of the 320, and the ones affected are the base models. Guns for the pores. I don't do requests unless you pay for it. Do you have any revolver models that are from the 1900s? No, not really, man. I mean, technically, yeah, because most of the modern designs are from the 1900s. VIP cannot pick up guns on a live stream, my good sir. Is this a good investment? Guns definitely can be, Levi, but you have to buy them right. If you buy at MSRP or at market value, or if for whatever they tell you, you got to pay for them, then no. But if you're like me and you can find deals, then yes. What is that? Red Sprite? No, it's not Red Sprite. It's a sugar-free drink mix. I just used the bottle to mix it up because I had a Sprite bottle laying around. What 3-letter meetup did you get that hat at? AMZ, Amazon. I buy them. I go through 1 or 2 every few months. It says 94 AE. Well, the 94 is the model, but yeah, if he sold it to you also for $200, I guarantee you it's newer than 64. Like my 1939 with the Lyman peep sight, it has an original peep sight on it, is worth like $2,400.
Do you like Ruger 1022s? Yes. Don't buy trends, the 2011s, and custom Glocks. Custom Glocks, definitely don't buy them, but in terms of 2011s, if you buy like the cheap ones, the Turkish ones, you can get a bunch of them. How much is that silencer behind you? So when I got it, they were $859 plus your $200 tax stamp. Right now, if you can find one in stock, they're like $820, between $750 and $820 plus the tax stamp, until they officially say no more tax stamp, and then they'll be probably about the same price. I don't do top 5 lists and don't type in all caps. Do you use all those guns? Mike Bridger says, good, thank you. I personally shoot my personal guns a lot, but some of those guns are new but for sale, so I don't shoot new guns because, they're for sale. He was hurting for money. You got a hell of a deal, man. You did good, man. $200 for a 30-30, especially a Winchester 1894, is good even if it's a brand new one. Very good. Self-defense, believe it or not, Cosmic, I would recommend a shotgun. Unless you live in a place where you can't have a shotgun or a shotgun's too big, then go with something. If you only want a gun for self-defense, get a Glock. They're boring. I don't like them. There's 3 on the wall, but they work. Do I have grenades? No, I sold my Olight. If I can only grab 2 guns, 1 rifle, 1 pistol, what are you taking? My 1894 and one of my 1911s. I know who'll be ready if it's a zombie apocalypse. I'm not really worried about a zombie apocalypse because I am ready for that. I'm more worried about if they drop the bomb. I'm an hour and a half from DC, so there may be looters and stuff. And people keep telling me that if there is an apocalypse, everybody's coming to my place. There's going to be a lot of dead people outside of my house. What's the tactical stock on the lower right? It's actually my TAC 79 37mm signal launcher. I don't like Glocks either, but they are reliable. That is true. None of those Marlin 44 mags are in stock on RSR. My buddy's holding one. It's the one that's on like 9 bills. I'll have him send me the item number. I love my P89 Ruger. Hate that I got rid of it. Nice. Can you show us the guns to the left and right, just out of frame? I'll show all the guns in about 25 minutes. Or I'll get up at 9 and I'll show all the guns. So that way anybody can just search at the 30-minute mark. I want to do it at a regular interval. I have 3 guns. How much do you have? I don't know, man. Triple digits. That's all I know. What's your favorite 1911 you have? I love them. My favorite is currently would be for the single stacks would be my Para Ordnance Black Ops. For double stacks is my Gerson Match X that I modified, which is up there. Those are my 2 favorite right now. Hello from Texas. What's up, Aaron? It's been a while. No Desert Eagle. We have a shortage of 410 ammo here because hunting. We have a shortage of 410 everywhere, dude. It sucks. You got some beautiful guns, I must say. Thank you. What's your favorite gun from any of the John Wick movies? My favorite gun from any of the John Wick movies would probably be the Terran Tactical Combat Master 2011 or the Kimber Warrior, because I actually had the Kimber Warrior. I sold that. Zorro, you type again like that, you're going away. Wow, you would be in jail in the UK for this. It's crazy. Yeah, you guys need better laws. How do you feel about AR pistols? I like them. Doesn't matter what caliber, they serve a purpose. Do you have any drum magazines? I really don't, just because I have really bad nerve damage, so I don't like loading them. If I could take one thing that is an NFA item and make it not an NFA item, what would that be? Machine guns. Just because a gun can shoot faster doesn't make it any more lethal, in my opinion. Oh, but you can spray down a lot of people without having to pull the trigger. It's still a gun. Above the gun with the blue handle. What gun is that? That is a Sig Sauer P320 X5 Legion. It's a nice high point. It's the Yeet Cannon, baby. Where am I located? Winchester, Virginia. Wind City Armory. Check it out. Hold on. God damn it. Everybody stop. I'll kill you all. I mean, I love you all. You don't all suck. Everyone make sure to hit the like when you had the airsoft. What'd you use it for? Just plinking, shooting things, nothing like dastardly or harmful. If I mean, of course you'd pick the tactical one. I'll ask him if he has one. You live in Missouri. Do y'all come here for the gun show? I've never been to Missouri for a gun show, but I've started doing gun shows this year. I was going to get the RXM, but decided on a revolver and 357 mag. What's up, Chanson? Binary triggers can make rounds per minute insane anyways. Yeah, and I've got one in my regular AR too. Is that a silencer coat internal at the top beneath the shotgun? The silencer that is on the one underneath the AR is the Osprey 9 2.0. How does 1911 feel when you're shooting it? Is it reliable or good self-defense weapon? Just like anybody, anything, it depends on who manufactures it. Yes, many 1911s are very dependable. Am I going to see John Wick 5? If they make one, yes. Best-selling gun in your shop. Believe it or not, it's been 1022s. Don't shoot me when I show up once the undead take over. Dude, you call first? I'm good. I want at least one of those. Yeah? Get it. Get it! Call me. I like Old West guns more than today's. To each their own. I prefer today's modern aesthetic myself. What's my opinion on the 320s? If you understand the actual problem with the 320s, then the 320s are fine. The uncommitted discharges refer to guns that were built before 2021. It also refers to base models, and I don't do anything base model when it comes to a gun because screw that. If you get an X trigger, an X full, X carry, an AXG, any of those guns, they don't have the same trigger system that went off because of the actual trigger itself. It doesn't have the inertial drop problems that the original guns did, so it's fine. It's the most comfortable gun to carry on your side. The thinner the better is always my opinion. I like the 1911s. I carry a 5-inch 1911. Springfield Armory opinions. They're fine. I like a lot of their guns. I'm going to get one of their Kunas eventually. You sell guns or collect them? I own a gun store and I collect them. Which sniper has the longest range? Probably, what was it, Carl Hathcock, and then there's that Canadian dude. They both have really long ranges on their kill counts. Of course, I want the tactical one. It's beautiful, lol. The 320 nut mod makes it safe. Yep. If y'all come to Missouri, I'm ready to buy $700 under, preferably on the used prices tend to drop here at times. Yeah, I'm not going to be going to Missouri. I'm in Virginia. I'm not going to transport handguns and rifles to Virginia to sell them there, or to Missouri to sell them. Sorry, bud. I will ship to your local FFLs if you're looking for something. Yeah, but I don't like SIG for gaslighting. Oh, 100%, Isaac. I'm 100% that behind that feeling. The fact that they're trying to say that if you're, although it's funny because I have a sponsor on my, the sponsor banner underneath my video is SIG tonight, which is friggin' hilarious. Let's see. Do I have a Beretta? Look behind me before you comment. I always love Springfield. They get tons of hate now, though. They've gotten hate for a long time. They're not even under the same ownership that was supporting anti-2A liberals, but they're much better than they used to. I like your style. Thank you, Justin. Isn't it Shy-Tac intervention? For what? Lady cops or male cops? Well, it depends on who's checking my junk for a gun. No, I am not ex-military. Lady cops are more reasonable. Jamie, everybody put W in the comments for Jamie. Just came out as gay. Love it when that happens on the channel. Damn it, I don't know about shipping guns. I'm legally able to carry one. I'm not a felon, but I don't know how to order a gun across state lines. It feels illegal, even though it's not. So observing, what you have to do is you have to go to your local gun store and have them contact me. I need a copy of their FFL paperwork. Then I can send a gun to them, and you will pick it up from your local FFL as if you were buying the gun from them. It's that simple. Did I tell you about my accident? No, Dusty, you didn't. What's up? No, the Shy-Tac intervention is not the longest sniper. The gun with the longest confirmed kill in a theater of war is actually a Macmillan TAC 50 with a 50 BMG, which supposedly took somebody out at 2.5 miles. You hate cops? You hate some cops. Not all cops are douchebags. I know some that are stupider than me. Our Crimson Trace race Crimson Trace red dots decent. They're okay. Red dots are just like women. You get what you pay for. So, you know, the hooker for $20 versus the escort for 200. The hooker for $20 might have a larger penis than you. So if you're willing to take a few speed bumps, go for it. I really don't care for Crimson Trace's red dots, but they're okay. The Sig Sauer P938 is a great concealed carry. It is. Don't type in all caps. I'm not answering another comment. I want a good. I'm a good. I was in a vehicle versus pedestrian accident Friday, and I was a pedestrian. Well, you're typing, so hopefully you're doing okay. All caps. Action, thank you. Do I have a Cattleman revolver? No, I do not. You could use 2 red dots at the same time. Yeah, if I have 2 guns. I know what you're getting at. Longest kill shot. ICBM at 8,000 miles from suborbital trajectory. Yeah, but that's not a single shot, though. Hi, Jim. Well. Living in England, I find this horrifying. Oh, you find it arousing, my friend. Why the sensitivity to all caps? Because this isn't Twitch. Have some class. The Horizon's Lords holds the longest confirmed kill, but please look it up. Okay. Fine. I'll say the longest North American sniper kill was the one in Canada, from Canada then. I am having donut grips. Yeah, you said that, Chaos, and on the thing. That'll be cool. Best in my opinion, carried the Defender for a bit. 5 inches more accurate for me. Me too. Do not have a Litchfield. Is that a Jill Samurai Edge and an HK70? Could you show them? I will stand up in 4 minutes and show all the guns, but yes, it is a VP70 and a Jill Samurai. They're my buddy Alex's. Royal, what's up? I love your guns. Do you have an R? Sure. Buy any surplus guns? No, I really don't, because Classic Firearms and a couple other guys buy all of them now that are coming in. It's not on the finished case. It was a lot of fun working on it. Also tag Win City in my Facebook post. Nice, dude. I appreciate that. Let me check that thing out. So they hey, Jeff, thank you, man, for the Cash App. You are king for Chinese Glock ammo. That's Norinco, I think, right? I did 125 meter kill in Call of Duty. Nice. Have the boys from ATF come to check your books yet? No, they don't really have a reason to, because I haven't done a lot of guns, but they can whenever they want to. I'm all for it. I don't have Win City loaded onto this computer, so I'll check it later, but I'm sure it'll be awesome. Breton. As why can you not touch guns? So many gun tubes, entire careers is showing off dissimilarly shooting guns. So McPherson, there's a difference between making a video. I can make a video demonstrating firearm shooting it at the range, whatever I want to do, and that's what 99.9999999% of YouTube videos are. Live streams, you cannot touch, demonstrate, or transport a firearm, because in 2019 a guy decided to dome himself. I wish y'all closer to me. Shake my head. I'd show up in person. You're a gunsmith. Yeah, no, I understand that, observing. Plus, you can't buy a handgun across state lines. It has to be shipped anyways. Live is different. Absolutely. I have a complete unit of a hand cannon, Pfizer Zelica 600 Nitro. Oh, Jesus, a 600 Nitro Express revolver? Yeah, that's more than a hand cannon, man. That's a wrist breaker. What's the best handgun to carry around? It all depends on what you're trying to do, Phantom. If you just want to do one thing with it, if that's all you want to do is just carry a gun, get a Glock. I like everything y'all do. Please think about coming to Missouri. Yeah, no, man. I appreciate it, but I'm not going to take my inventory and drive to Missouri for gun shows. Well, I don't go to gun shows here, dude. Which gun do you recommend me to buy if I had to buy something from you that has a good range? Whatever you want to buy, man. Research what gun that you want before you try to buy something. Guns are not like underwear. You can't return them just because they don't fit right. Last gun purchased. About 5 hours ago, I ordered my Dan Wesson DWX Optics Cut. I always think it's stupid when people buy like 8 crappy guns and put Neotech on them. I don't call it a day. It makes so much more sense to just buy 2 or 3 nice ones. So I started with the lower end forward observations. I bought a lot of cheap guns, Tauruses, knockoff stuff, and I've elevated my thing. Like I said, I just bought a $2,000 DWX, but For some people, yeah, I do agree. They go too crazy with the cheap shit. I got this guy I used to work with who would buy any gun that was under $100. It didn't matter if it worked or not. And so I get where you're coming from. Thoughts on different carry positions? You carry where you're comfortable, McPherson. My two places where I carry, I don't carry appendix. I have a little bit of a pooch. Even when I lose it, I'm not comfortable because I have a long torso. So when I sit, the gun is actually like this inside my waistband. So I carry in my pocket and I carry at the 4 o'clock. Google that, Deku. I don't give prices for guns that I don't own. Do you believe in Jesus? Yes. You can't return a gun. I've never tried, but I assume there's a way to. No. You can send a gun in if there's something wrong with it, but once a gun is put into your name, it's kind of like when you do the paperwork on a car and the paperwork is processed, then you own that car. It's now technically a used car. It's the same way with a gun. Now, if you bought a gun from me that day, you left the store, you came back because you bought the wrong one, and I have the right one, no problem. I'll return the gun and make the deal with you, but there is no returns on firearms. ARs and 12 gauge, what's your take on them? Most of them, I still have the Grandmaster. Nobody wanted to pay me for it, so technically I have the Grandmaster still until somebody comes up with the money for it. Let me get back to that question. Sorry. 12 gauge ARs are typically made in Turkey. The one that I recommend is the Daria Arms VR60 or the VR80. I can't remember which one's 12 gauge. I think it's the VR80. Just go ahead and get one of those. SIGs versus HK as a brand. HK has better build quality, but they're much more expensive. Hopefully I'll make it back soon. If not, have a good night. We'll catch you rewatch tomorrow. All right, Justin. Nighthawk 1911, yes. Cabot, no. Colt, maybe. So Cabot and Alchemy are owned by the same parent company. Neither one of those are true hand-fit guns. Colt just got bought by CZ last year, they got bought by CZ last year, so I'm waiting to see their new line of guns. They should be out now, but I haven't put my hands on one. It's 900, you need to do the wall tour. Oh, well, technically it's 2100. Look at my crotch. See, I'm not fat. I'm just not fit. I'm not fat. I'm not fit. You only got 700, and I want the one above the blue handle gun. Yeah, you ain't getting the one above the blue handle gun for 700. The base cost of an X5 Legion is $950, and it has a $350 optic on it. So, and it's got a $300 trigger in it. So, no, sorry, bud. Let's start over here. We have the TAC 79. That is a 37 millimeter signal device. It launches signal devices, including frag and not frag, but flashbangs and concussion. Then we have a Romanian AK. I need to get a regular wood AK grip for it. So, hello, Avengi. So that is a pretty cool looking piece. There's some LEDs right there. It's a Diamondback DB15 chambered in 5.56. It's a nice rifle. Does the job. We have the Arex 01 Tactical. So that is the 226 clone basically, but it's threaded barrel. You can tell because I got an Osprey 9 on it. And it is optics cut. Beautiful gun. Thank you, Untitled Goose, for helping me get that. Next to that is the Arex Alpha. I figured I'd put the two Arexes together. They actually share magazines, which is pretty damn cool. I like how he politely crushed my dreams. Sorry, dude. Below that is my Gerson 2311 Match X. So it's the Staccato XC. It has the island comp, just like a Staccato XC. And it's got custom stip by my buddy Greg, Tree Bark, and a Burris Fastfire C, and a 2 pound 2-ounce trigger in it, which I did. Sig Sauer 1911X. Got some pretty expensive shit there, huh? It can be. I'm not going to lie, yes. Unless you're talking about a heat cannon, but apparently Stone wants that. That's a $200 gun. Remington 870 MagFed. Like, these are all my guns, well, except for the few that I'm babysitting. So technically, if I just didn't want to open my shop, I don't have to sell any of these. Beretta 92 FS Ghost. So it's got all stainless stuff there. The Shiggy Shick. Yes, it is. Let's see. Dost thou have a SOP mod? No, sir, I doth not. That is a Para-Ordnance P1345. I'm working on getting a Para-Ordnance LDA right now. I'm probably not going to be selling this 1345 like I originally was. My buddy is going to be buying this Mitchell Gold Cup or Gold Series 95. Mitchell 1911s were actually built by Dan Wesson in the 90s. Beautiful gun. Springfield Operator. Beautiful gun. You like that Remington? Thank you. You can tell you own a gun store. You have $78,000 on the wall. Is the Gerson any good? Yes. That Gerson, the 2311 Match X, really changed up Gerson. So they had the 2311C last year. They were not very good guns. The Match series, the S without the comp and the X with the comp, are amazing. There's the Glock that I've dropped multiple times. So it's literally the cheapest Glock brand new on the planet. A Glock 19 MOS, because you need to have them. CZ SP01, it's not loaded. I just forgot to drop the hammer. My custom built X5 Legion. Damned, why can't y'all be in Missouri? Y'all got some goods. Thank you. Mitchell is way sick. Yep, my buddy Ryan Kuhn is probably buying that one. TP9 SFX with Siley's Wolf enclosed optic. I'll be checking that out. Do you have a revolver? Yeah, I got a few of them. My buddy's FK Burno 75 FK also shoots 10 millimeter. The Samurai Edge, Jill's version of it from Resident Evil, built using a Brigadier with the reinforced slide. The Egyptian doesn't want to be in Missouri, so we are keeping her safe and sound. Gotcha. Is it weird I want every Glock? Just buy one, then you'll have a bunch of them. Sorry, dude, there is a high point. But it's the Yeet cannon. It's the only reason. HK VP70. This is also Alex's, and yes, it is also from Resident Evil. What about a Desert Eagle? Had one, sold it. All my buddies like shooting my gun, but they hated paying for ammo, as in they never paid for ammo, so frick that. Silver versus black 1911, which color do you prefer? Honestly, I'll take or leave it. Like, this one has a high polish on the slide, which is a little bit different. But the stainless look is a pretty look. It's more of a personal thing. If it's got the right aesthetic to it, I like the stainless. I actually only like the stainless if it has like front cuts and rear cuts and all that good stuff. HK VP9, chambered in 9mm with the HK parts match weight on it. That is a Tanfolio Witness. My buddy Drunk Mouse made me the grips on it. How many years do you have in the gun business? 6. So not that many. A Glock 22, a 40 cal Glock. Yes, that's right. He has one on the wall. Taurus PT92. It's basically a small frame compact Beretta. Canic Meta. Raffle off and no, I don't think so, man. Rock 5.7 from Palmetto State. The Taurus G3X, which is a 19X. Basically, it's a full-size grip with a short slide, and a Ruger SR9C. So that is the wall. Do I have a 50 caliber? No, not anymore. You've got the gray Cerakote operator. Nice. Hey, everybody put W in the chat for Jay. Jay just came out as gay. Second person tonight to come out as gay. We really appreciate that you guys feel safe here. We are allies of the community, so if you do need a safe place to come out, go ahead and do it here. Good job, Jay. Where can I find cheap Carcano ammo? Good luck. Ammo Seek, maybe. Wow, we just lost quality. Oh, it's me. Hold on a second. I don't know why my video quality just shat. There we go. JB, 2 W's. JB is double gay. He's bi. That's awesome, dude. Good for you, JB. What's the shortest barrel length? I should go for 5.56. 10.5. Wavy, ask a question not about an AR, buddy. Your collection is amazing. Thank you for what you do. No, thank you for coming and hanging out, Justin. That's more important to me than that. All dim pixels. Yeah, when you do a lot of movement, YouTube's system isn't really good at keeping you high. Audio has been down. I love High Point. Does that make me go, hey? No, you're fine. Hey, Ginger, happy birthday tomorrow. God is a good gamer. God is a good gamer. He better be the best gamer. Besides a Glock, what's the next gun above that? What do you mean? Today's Angelina Jolie's birthday, and she had to level up again. Did she? I love guns and YouTube. Where's the SIGs? There's two of them up there. There's the 1911 and the 320, man. You got to do some searching. It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where on the wall is the gun you're looking for? Do you have any kind of tasers? No, I'll just hit people with my car. I'm like that Batman Arkham Knight game. I just hit people with my car. Dude, I got such a bad headache right now, but it's okay. I love bananas. Where in the money? I want a motherboard for $5. Don't have a bazooka. When it comes to reliability and accuracy, what's better than a Glock? Reliability, you're going to be hard pressed to beat a Glock because they're so poorly built. They have terrible tolerances. Not poorly built, but they have such crap tolerances that they'll run very reliably. In terms of accuracy, like a Smith & Wesson M&P, a Walther PDP will definitely outshoot it. FN's products will outshoot it. Canucks will outshoot it. All 1911s. There's a Henry 44 mag under 800. No, it was a special allocation, Stone. When I talk to him tomorrow, I'll pass it on to you. No, get some bananas and Tylenol to get rid of the headache. No, I have cluster headaches. It's not a it's not a headache that just goes away because of home remedies, dude. It's not even worth trying to get into, and I won't entertain home remedies. I do appreciate it, but it's not me, dude. Also, second. So, am I in okay quality to you guys? I have wired internet. I have 2 gigabit internet. Why am I... Huh. It's okay, it's okay. Pixels, 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 a little fuzzy. Leave the headaches alone. I know a little bit about headaches. Yeah, I've had one headache for 27 years, dude. Trust me. I also know the headaches. Let's see if this helps. Yeah, everything's blurred, and I don't know why. Like, my camera isn't showing it blurred. I think it's the YouTube upload right now. Like, what I'm seeing through my phone looks absolutely clear. Normally, it's not this bad. Where's your shop, or is it only online? It's in Winchester, Virginia, if you look it up. No, I think the quality problem is YouTube right now because, like, looking at my phone, my video is crystal clear. I can read everything perfectly. So I'm not sure what the fuck they're doing. They're fucking with me today. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Look out my door! Okay, you're right. I also had very few headaches. The number one thing you should... Yeah, nope. I have a medical condition that affects my headaches, brother. Like I said, I appreciate you trying observing, but it's nothing to do with... It's not headaches. It's a condition that I have. SIG 226 is the GOAT. SIG 226 is a very high-quality gun, yes. Greatest of all time, 1911s for me. Joe's turning into a pixelation. Quality's better now. Yep, so it's because I just switched to Wi-Fi. We'll see how well that goes. How's it going tonight? Pretty good. I take triptans for my migraine with medications do you take? I have a idiopathic version of cluster headaches, and I have the worst version you could possibly have. I've had a headache since I was 17. I'm 45, so I've had a headache for going on 28 years. So I've tried every version of every medication you can think of. I'm also non-reactive to all opioids. Fentanyl does literally nothing to me. So unfortunately, the stuff that I deal with in terms of the headache, trust me, after almost 3 decades of medical bullshit, there's literally nothing any of you are going to mention that I haven't tried. Be sure to subscribe. Yes, play. Is Joe really AI? No, I'm not. I'm not a AI. You're 28? No, I'm 45. I've been dealing with the headache for 28 years. You own any Italian guns? Yeah, I got a few. You going? Nah, diggity. Come on, man. To fight Martians? Why would I fight the Martians, man? I'm gonna go up there and we're gonna be clapping some cheeks, baby. But I would take a shotgun in a 1911. Gunstore owned by a large-scale manufacturer that makes stuff for the people. Any tips? Do your job. Don't try to get too big in your head or in your britches, and you should do well. Barnes, what's up? Try the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, he and I talk once in a while, but I don't believe in going to church. I don't believe in group gatherings to worship a higher power. My relationship with God is my relationship with God. It's the same thing with my relationship with religion and hookers. It's none of your business. You're a likable person. I'll drink a beer with you. Absolutely, dude. What's up, dude? I want to be the one to make the first Martian human baby. I don't care where the hole is. I'm going for it. Joe, it's been a long time. Been working a lot. I have a question. I don't make much, but I can't afford several items. But I'm stuck between the XD Mod 3, Taurus G3 Tactical, Smith & Wesson SD 2.0. The G3 Tactical gives you the most stuff for your price. Like you get optics plates, you get threaded barrel, you get all that stuff. So if you want to have more variety with one gun, I would go with the Taurus G3. JB, thank you for the $5. You're an awesome dude. And if you're looking just for a shooter, go with the Smith & Wesson. Alcatraz says, thanks. Nice collections. Do you have any recommendation for a handgun for a first-time purchase? If you're just getting into guns and you just need a gun to get started, get a Glock. Glock 19, Glock 22, Glock 17, I don't give a shit. Get a Glock. It's reliable, it runs, it does the job. They're incredibly boring and you're going to get tired of it immediately, and that will drive you to get better guns. My first gun was a 1911. I don't always recommend that for everybody else. You and my daughter are in the same camp. She's had a migraine for 12 years now. I pray it doesn't go to 28. It's really screwy. So cluster headaches affect very few people as it is, so it sucks when I hear other people have it. But the version that she has and that I have, for those of you that don't know, cluster headache isn't exactly what it sounds like. People think a cluster headache means that you get a bunch of headaches at once. No, it means that you have a continual headache that ebbs and flows. People that have cluster headaches fall into one of two camps. You can have a few headaches here and there, they go away, and they recur every now and then. You could have weeks, months, or years between your episodes. Or you can be like me and this guy's kid, where I literally, I go through a 200 count of these. I take about 25 a day, so I'll go through this bottle in 8 days. The caffeine along with the acetaminophen help keep them at bay.
Is that a Luger?
Sorry, JB, I'm catching up here. Have you tried electric pain pack on your back and neck? Yeah, dude, 28 years, bro. There's literally nothing that randos on the internet are going to suggest that an actual physical physician hasn't recommended to me. My medical file is over 1,400 pages with my problems, buddy. I appreciate it, but it's not worth recommending stuff. I've had those headaches for 20 years, almost every day until I had my first heart attack, now 30. So what you're telling me, Gary, is I need to have a heart attack. Well, that's not fair, because in 2017 I killed myself and I still get my heart attacks. My heart stopped. That's not fair. What's up, McManus? Have you tried weed? I hear it cures everything. Dude, I'm non-reactive to opioids, cannabis, all the good stuff. My brother-in-law is interested in getting into pistol competitions. What's one or two options for 2K or less? CZ Tactical Sport definitely. And then like either a Smith & Wesson Competitor, a Canic Rival S, any of those guns would be pretty good for you. Platypus 1911, your thoughts? I like the concept. I keep meaning to buy one, but I never do. Do you have any silencers? Look at my wall before you type. You understand. No problem, Robert. And I never want to be rude when I tell people that. It's just literally anything you can think of, I've already tried. Like I said, I killed myself and it still didn't get rid of my headaches. What's your favorite gun from the rack in the back? Right now, my favorite on the rack in the back is still my Gerson 1911. Tax board is better than the Alien. I actually agree with McManus on that one. Have you tried picking your nose? I heard cleaning them out makes headaches go away. I tried that on Monday. Remember? You might have been working on that Corvette. I had my finger in up to a knuckle, dude. Where's the Tokarev? I haven't had the Tokarev for years since I ND'd into my wall. When you say non-reactive, does that mean they can't kill you? Non-reactive means that I don't have a physical reaction to it. It doesn't mean that the ingredients can't kill me. It just means that I don't get any of the benefits from opioids. So I don't get pain relief. They don't work on your pain receptors. Now, working on a pain receptors and killing you are two separate things. It doesn't have to just work on your pain receptors for you to OD. So I could easily OD, but I'm non-reactive to a normal dose or even a high dose. I've taken 80 milligrams of oxycodone at a time, and it literally lasts for 10 minutes. Have I ever tried a Joji Bear? No, I don't even know what that is. Hang on a second. Like 30% of the price too. The end feels like a really decent 75 series, dude. So my DWX is my DWX is only $2,000, and it's probably a better feel. So Joji Berry.
Judgy Berry sits in the Gundam tree.
Wolfberry sweet food of either Lycium barbarium or Lycium Chinese. Two closely related species of box thorns in the Nightshade. Doesn't Nightshade have like powers? Got a question. Glock 19 Gen 5 Omega 9K keeps stove piping and failure to feed 150 grain federal Syntec. What could cause? Gun shoots perfect without the can. Glocks inherently don't shoot well suppressed. But my question is, when you're running the Omega 9, does it have a Nielsen device on it, the spring, or are you direct mounting it to the gun? It definitely needs a Nielsen device to run, but Glocks just in general, that short tilting locking action causes the barrel to tilt up so much that it requires much higher pressures to run correctly. You've fondled a DWX and you agree? Yeah. Is that a Stars Beretta I see in the corner? Yeah, that's my buddy Alex McClure. He built it. Why is 9mm becoming more popular than 45 ACP? Ballistics plus cost. Box of 50 brass basic 9mm is like 15 to 17 bucks here in Virginia. 45 is between 23 and 26 bucks. And ballistically, they do a really good job. My 1911s are well taken care of. I don't know about the berries. I got some today. I was going to feed one of my chinchilla named Pedro. You have the booster and it's still acting up. That's interesting. Maybe you should, I don't know much about the Omega 9K can. I know my Osprey can on a stock Glock with a agency arms barrel will run fine, but I don't know about yours. Try 124 grain and see if it'll cycle with a slightly lighter bullet. Even though it is still technically hearing safe, it's still might have a crack. Joe, I fondle my guns. Can I get charged with that? Only if it's less than 18 years old, buddy. So you need to be playing with your Glocks and 1911s. Thoughts on 38 Super? My STI Grandmaster is chambered in 38 Super. It's an interesting caliber. It's been around since like 1926. People don't realize that. They think it's a newer cartridge than that. They think they're from the 80s. They're actually from the 20s. I need to go to sleep. This dude's too likable. Thank you, observing. Cody, what's up? Ammo choice per gun? No, I'm a gun guy, just whatever caliber it happens to be in. The DWX is only available in 9mm, so if I want a DWX, I have to get it in 9mm. Question for you. I just turned 18 a month ago. I was looking at my first concealed carry at about $500. You're thinking about an XD45. Would that be a good concealed carry? No, honestly, it would not. Small frame 45 is going to be a lot to shoot. If you shoot a lot of XD 45, maybe, but if you don't shoot a lot, it's not going to be that good of a carry gun. How's the recoil on a 38 Super STI? It's not bad at all. The weight of the gun, the true bore barrel, all that weight off the end holds it down. The only benefit is that it's usually naturally subsonic and it's unlikely to overpenetrate. That's true, McManus. Everyone make sure you hit the like. Yep, thoughts on 7.62 by 25 millimeter. So 7.62 by 25 is a cool round. That's what my Tokarev was chambered in, and that's what I put through the wall. What brand of ammo? For my practice ammo, I run Cellar and Bellet or Fiocchi. Those are the two reliable brands I've had good luck with. For self-defense, it's usually Hornady, Critical Duty, Critical Defense, or Federal HST. Do you think the bill to take the tax stamp off the suppressors will go into effect? I honestly think it will, and I really hope it does. How often should you practice with your home defense gun? I would say take it to the range with you every time you go to the range and put a few rounds through it. Also, it helps you cycle through your defensive ammo. I know defensive ammo is expensive, but you really need to shoot what you're protecting yourself with to make sure that you understand how it feels. So basically, I will carry a magazine of hollow points with me all the time when I go to the range, and I'll shoot at least one mag. We're limited to 10 rounds. I see the 1911 and the Lord's Caliber being a good option. That's true. A West German 229 came into the gun shop the other day. It already has my name on it. Definitely Chaos. How did you put a gun through the wall? What's the story there? I put a round through the wall. I accidentally ND'd into the wall. I've told the story before. My negligent discharge story. Everybody probably has one. I had just home blued the gun. I put it away, but I forgot that I had loaded it and racked a round into it. I put a mag into it so I could drop the hammer, and then I racked it anyway because I'm a dumbass. So the next morning I pull it out of the gun safe and I'm looking at it, and it's pointed in a safe direction, thankfully. But I was looking at the trigger to see that I'd gotten some bluing on it, and I lightly tapped the trigger, and this was a pre-64 import, so it didn't have any markings or external safeties, and I discharged into the wall because I'm a dumbass. JB comes in with another donation. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. You're a king. Started a little rough, but man, my boy has stepped up in a big way. Thank you very much, JB. Looked up 9mm barrels for the STI. They're a little less than $400. Yeah, they're like $358 for the true bores, and then getting it gunsmith would probably be like another $150. So for about $550, you'll have a 9mm and a 38 for that gun. My bedside gun is an FNX 45 Tactical, most because of the potential of overpenetration. That makes sense. How are we feeling about the Langdon Tactical? I didn't know he did a Mark 23. I'd love to check that out. May I just say this guy has absolutely no clue what he's talking about. He's correct when he said that he's a dumbass. Oh, thank you, Wyatt. Appreciate that. What kind of ammo is in your bed fight? Then you sold it or what? Yeah, I did sell it. How many fully stainless guns do you own? 4? Maybe 5. I love guns. Do you have the Glock 16? Haha. Did you just shirt? No, but I have shit my pants before. It's fun. Cool guns. The more I listen, the more it hurts. Well, here's an idea. Go away. Here, I'll help you. Hey, Joe, what's up? My bedside gun is a Smith & Wesson 686 and 357 Magnum. So my bedside gun is my 930 Tactical. My bed top gun is my 1911. I sleep with it. How much ammo should I have? As much as you can afford. Some people say 5,000 rounds per gun. That's too much. I'd say probably at least 500 rounds, though. Why is most 45 ACP caliber guns looking like a copycat of a 1911 instead of something more modern look of its own? Because they're the guns that typically shoot modern guns, like striker-fired guns, all look like Glocks. So I'd rather have a 1911. What's my most expensive gun? It's a hard question to answer because some of my guns, because of their collector value, are worth more than what they're actually worth. You know what I mean? Like there's market value on guns, and I never pay retail on anything. You men have helped me with my mental health. Thank you, Potato. I hope you're feeling better. Either better about yourself because of me or in spite of me. I appreciate that. Do they even make 45 Super anymore? Yes, they do. How many yeets did it take to hold your house up? Nobody holds up my house with the yeet because I have the yeet. I defend my house with the yeet. Thank you very much. It's the blue pistol at the bottom corner on the left. That is a 3D printed sign for Wind City Armory. I guess my bed top gun with the K-frame and the holster when I'm sleeping loaded with buffalo bore. Ha! I'm sure your wife likes that. What do you think about a concealed carry Glock because it doesn't have a safety? It does have a safety. It has a trigger safety. But if you're talking about an external manual safety, if you don't trust yourself to carry it, then you should carry something else. But as long as it's properly in a holster, you should have no issues with that gun. Also, this is your safety. Have I ever watched The Boondocks? No. The cartoon? No. I read it when it was in comic book strip form. Looks like John Wick's arsenal. Thank you. CW, what's up? How long do you think it'll take before the 40 caliber ammunition will be hard to find? No, they'll keep making it for a long time, dude. JB says that's right. No, they'll keep making 40s for the foreseeable future. There's like 22 variants that I can get on RSR right now. You live in a state where they just passed a permit to purchase law. Is it unconstitutional, and what's my thoughts? Yes, any law that prohibits a law-abiding citizen without a criminal record from being able to purchase a firearm without submitting to some form of registration is unconstitutional and an infringement on our Second Amendment rights. There should be no rules against law-abiding citizens or requiring law-abiding citizens to in any way have to inform the government what they own. The only time somebody should lose their rights is when they use that firearm in the commission of a dangerous act, such as a murder or a abuse or kidnapping, things like that. Once you've proven you shouldn't have a gun, that, in my opinion, is the only time you shouldn't be able to have a gun. JB, thank you very much. Appreciate it. She asked me the other day if I had a loaded gun on her table, and I told her, yeah, it's in a holster. Nice. Is that a CZ with brown grips? No, it's technically a Tanfolio Witness, and it has 3D printed grips that Mouse put on it. Thank you, JB. Mark IV 2245 for $350, new in box. Is that a good deal? Yeah, that's actually a pretty solid price, man. They're usually well over 400 for a 2245. You did good. Do you think machine guns are covered under the Second Amendment? I think any gun is covered under the Second Amendment. Like I said, unless you prove that you're not trustworthy enough to own a firearm, I believe all guns should be legal. Machine guns are nothing more than expensive, spitty guns. I know dudes that are faster or as fast as machine guns. What's your shotgun? Basically my Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911 right now, but I also keep a couple of loaded mags behind the counter so I can grab any gun in my store that I need to. I've got a couple AR mags loaded as well as some AK loaded. If we can't trust you with the firearm, you shouldn't be amongst the public. Pretty much. JB says, that's right. Yeah, so like I said, is your dream girl someone who knows how to use a gun? Not really. I don't want a girl that's basically me. I wear tits on live streams every now and then, so if I want to screw myself, I can just dress up. I want a girl that interests me for every reason, not just because they like guns. Also, I don't really like taking girls to the range that don't like guns or trying to talk them into it. I don't think so, but I'm probably stealing a P1045. Or you could just pay for him to get another one. I agree, law-abiding citizens should not be restricted on what they own. Yeah, exactly. It's just like when people meet other people. I give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove I can't deal with them, and then I stop dealing with them. Thinking about picking a Tavor. What are your thoughts on bullpups? I'm not a big fan of bullpups. Tavor does do it right, though. You have the 45 brass from the old Para. Nice. I'm trying to get an LDA from my other buddy's store, so if I get the Para Ordnance LDA, then I'm definitely not selling the 1345. Did you figure out a new carry gun? My girl appreciates and understands guns, but she doesn't care one way or the other aside from, like, her carry pistol. Nice. Stealing is better because it's cheaper. Nothing. What gun would you give somebody if they just started? So, depending on their level of competency with handling an unloaded firearm, that will determine whether or not I even let them shoot with me. But I would start somebody with a .22 revolver, let them shoot one round at a time, and then I would move them onto a semi-automatic gun, personally. If they are not willing to work their way up, then definitely not worth shooting with. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, you're my first draft pick. Sorry, I think most governments will shut down in the face of a true zombie attack, so you're going to be the first person I shoot. Sorry, I'm going all like, this is my property! Get away from my canned food! Is the Tanfoglio Witness a knockoff of the CZ? Yeah, it is. It's built in Italy by Tanfoglio. It is a clone of the 75, but that's mostly because the patent system in Czechoslovakia was terrible. What's the best gun you have in your inventory? In terms of like what you should be buying from me, probably like the X5 Legion. In terms of personally, all my 1911s. And is that a CZ next to it? Yes, the one with the blue grip on it is a CZ75 SP01. Wow. Yeah, pretty much, JB. You ever meet somebody who thinks they're a what and doesn't have the brain cell to count to shoot? Yes, I've met a lot of people I would not trust with a firearm. In fact, I've turned people away because they have such a fundamental lack of knowledge with firearms. I refuse to sell them a gun. Do you have any recommendations for summer carry on a motorcycle? I would say a chest rig and then get something like and again, it's just because they're cheap. If you lose it, who cares? A Glock 19, get a used one. You can usually find them at pawn shops in the threes. Get a cheap used Glock or a Taurus or something like that, and then get a chest rig is what I would recommend. Got 2 pizzas on the way to our house.
Damn, I'm going to mail you 4 more.
I love my X95, excellent quality, very accurate, nice and compact too. Yeah, so Tavor does them right. I'm just not a huge fan of bullpups. You do give up a lot for having a bullpup trigger. Do I have a shotgun? Look behind me before you type, please. Any recommendation on suppressor brands? I really like Silencer Co. They seem to be really nice quality, and they have really good customer support. When I blew out mine and bent it and blew out the baffles on it, they repaired it for free, didn't even ask questions. Well, they asked what it was on, and then they gave me a recommendation on which adapter to use. So there you go. You end up in a warehouse with canned food, but it's all canned fish. Are you staying alive? Dude, I'll eat canned fish as long as it's not that surströmming shit. But no, here's what I've actually told a lot of people. If it comes down to it and I'm getting overwhelmed, I'm joining the zombie army because they look happy. Is that a Heckler and Koch first ever polymer frame pistol? Yes, that is the VP70. So FN still refusing to address the 510 and 545 frames. Yep, pretty much. We'll talk shite about the Tavor another time. I didn't say it was great, McManus. I just said in terms of bullpups, it's one of the better ones. JB comes in with another donation. How crazy is that, man? I think I've had canned chicken. No, I've never had sweet. I've never had a whole chicken. Am I gonna die? Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Markiplier wishes he was 6'4", but yes, we are both half white, half Korean. Should I get a Henway for my Glock holster?
What's a Henway?
Thoughts on CZ compared to other firearms? How does it stack up? Very favorably. They have guns anywhere from the low 3s to thousands of dollars. So you can pretty much find something to fit whatever budget and design you want to run. I think their quality is very good and their upgradability is solid. And I've never even gotten a free one. How much is the gun with the blue handle? You can go to Wind City Armory and look up the guns. I don't give prices for sale on live streams. Ever met somebody who was competent with the gun, you just couldn't trust them with it, like they were too suspicious? I've had people come in and just be suspicious that I don't trust them, but yeah, I try not to get rid of people for no reason, though. I love that it started an argument about X95s. McManus just hates things. I enjoy practice shooting outdoors. Funny enough, the small guns I have a harder time aiming, but I was hitting 400 yards with the rifle, so not sure what. Rifles are inherently much better for shooting. They have the way you hold a firearm makes it much more accurate. So if you want to have a cool little experiment, just get a little laser or get a laser bore sighter, put it in your gun, and then find somewhere with like 20 to 30 yards, and then literally make little incremental movements with your fingers while holding the gun. And you'll see that if you make like a 1 millimeter movement here, it could be like 2 feet at 30 yards. So it's crazy how much easier it is to miss with the pistol. That's actually why pistol shooting is so much harder. Is that a high point under the shoddy? Yes, but it's the actual yeet cannon. It's the only reason I bought it. Damn, nice guns. Thank you, Elite. Not all things. You hate things that you don't like. Is that fair? Oh, I like flavored water. Arizona is one of the more two-way friendly states. I love it here. Awesome. Is the SIG 938 considered a 1911? No. It has a trigger bar trigger. It does not have a linear trigger, and the way it takes down is completely different. It looks like it's like modeled to imitate the 1911, but no. It's more of a baby high power than it is a 1911. JB is chilling with some popcorn. He's enjoying the show. Not even all things I've broken. I love some of the things I've broken. Am I a cop? Oh shit, is my wire showing? No, I am not a cop, not law enforcement, and not military. I have a beard and tattoos. That's about as close as I get to it. My favorite compact pistol of any brand. I'm not a huge fan of them, but if I have to pick one, I'd say the CZP-01. Hey, Honey Badger, what is up? What you carry right now? Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911 5-inch. It does have a Series 80 trigger, but damn it, somebody changed the trigger a long time ago. It's glorious. I've been wanting to get a PPK, but the 380 version is almost $1,000. Are the Burst of Thunders decent? Yes and no. They're hit and miss. It's kind of like Taurus's quality control. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. You hope you get lucky. My dog passed away. Good to see you, man. Always cheer me up. Mason, I'm sorry your dog passed away. I'm sure he was the goodest boy ever, and now he gets to be up there in the heavens. Oh, you're cops. You like watching cops. Got it. Nexus, no, it's loaded and in front of me. If I pick up a gun, YouTube will get pissy. PO1 is also, the 75 compact is also a solid choice. Yeah, the 75C is just no dust cover, no full-length dust cover. Trigger's slightly different, but yeah, I get that, yeah. Would you talk shit more about SIG 320s or FN's 500 series? So it's always going to be the 500 series that gets my ire because they just won't admit that their shit is bad. SIG admits their guns go off, but blames it on everybody else, so it's kind of in between. Lycan, what is up? Did you see the profile pic? You and Goose bought that gun for me. McMahon finally got a free membership after over a year and a half. Cheesy Orange is better than Alien. It's just the Alien is a rare buy. Yes, I agree with that. Lycan. Daniel is also a gooder boy. That's awesome. Bro, you look like a space alien. Thank you. Now, get them cheeks ready, because we're going to be clapping them. Top 3 gun tubers. Nick from Pewview. He shoots really well. I wish I could shoot as well as him, but I can't because of my physical limitations. That's it. He's still honest, even though he is doing it for money. So there's not many YouTubers that I like religiously watch. I watch a lot of different YouTubers for a lot of different reasons. I am a good YouTuber. Yeah, I came out as a real YouTuber very recently. I was in denial for 8 years that I was a YouTuber, but I recently came out as YouTube sexual. Yes, Pewview is a goddamn robot. But yeah, he shoots so many rounds all day, every day, and he just did an interview on Fan of Them, the company that keeps on giving him all the $10,000 guns to give away, and he was talking about it. He's like, yeah, man, because he gets paid to do it. He can nail steel upside down at over 100 yards, man. I've seen him do it. It's crazy. You're a real YouTuber. I am. I admitted it this year because up until this year, I didn't take review guns. I started taking guns for review this year. So I have to admit that since manufacturers are trusting me with their products to do reviews and give my opinions on, it has taken me into a YouTuber. What is the red emoji? It's a race car. You like Brandon Herrera or Garen Thumb? No. Brandon Herrera is fine, but he gets tiring very quickly because he's trying to impress you. He gets into the realm of Jack Black or Melissa McCarthy with the way he pounds his humor into you over and over and over. I get really tired of that kind of humor. I prefer subtle humor. Nothing against the guy. He's fine. I'll never be on their podcast. Even if I had 1 million subs, they'd never invite me on, mainly because I'd probably get along with them as people, but I don't agree with the way they do YouTube. And Mike from Garantham, dude, he's a piece of shit. Cheated on his wife because he became YouTube famous. Would you count it as religiously if I have a shrine for them in my house? If that's what you think. The tack sack belongs on Glock. Yes, it does. Pizza's 1 minute away. What are you tracking them? When a gun is sent to you for review, do you get to keep them? It depends. That SIG 1911 has to go back, but I'm probably going to buy it from them because I really want to shit talk it. Actually, I already did. If you watch the full-length video I did on it, I talked about their finish being shit. But I really want to shit on them, so I'm going to buy the gun. Hello from the Demon Hole in Dearborn, Michigan. Nice. Did you see the preview videos where they were shooting the 5-pound gummy bears? That was hilarious. Yes! The preview video, and they were shooting with 8.6, and other calibers would stop in the first gummy bear, but 8.6 goes through like 5 of them. Mike Jones is a bad human being. Yeah, I agree. You got Pizzana. Never heard of that. Track him, bro. Sorry for your loss. Dogs are a special family. Yep. Yeah, that's what it was crazy. I watched that preview video when they did that, and like that 8.6 did not care what it was going through. It just went. Shot my old SIG 1911 I got, and now that all the springs are replaced with Wilson's, it's super nice. Yeah, Wilson stuff is awesome, dude. I got the basic spring kit right here I put in my Gerson. Kentucky Ballistics has the same problem. So all of these million-plus channels that do crazy videos, but they don't review the guns, they're not what I do. I look at the guns, I do a couch top review, I take them apart, I show you what they need, what they do, if they're good. And then now I'm doing range trips every week this year. Not every week are you getting a range video, but I'm going to the range every week. I've got 3 videos put together on the Gerson. I'm going to put them all into one big review. But yeah, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not trying to impress you with my theatrics and shit because my theatrics are crap. What are your thoughts on Canic? I'm having shot one, but I really like the looks of them. Canics are great. They have probably one of the best striker fire trigger next to a Walther, which is because they're based on Walthers. They're really solid, man. Sup, bro? Hope you're feeling better. Today I am. Would you rather have a Glock 26 or a Hellcat? I'll go with the Hellcat over a Glock any day. What do I think about the M17 320? I don't like any base model gun, and the M17 is a base model gun. It just happens to be the one that the military adopted with an optics on it. It's an X5 with a shit trigger. Haven't heard about Mike. That's too bad. I don't think I'll watch him anymore. Yeah, no, he did it because once he crested like that 1.5 million view, like when he started growing the beard, like heavily growing his beard and got more tattoos, that was when he started stepping out on his wife and his kid. You know, he left his wife and kid to go hook up with some slut. And she isn't even that good looking. Carl from InRange TV banned me from his subreddit for calling one of his videos stupid. Sorry. Is that the new Arex with the can on it? Yes, that is the one that Untitled Goose and Lycan teamed up to buy. Glock 18 is the only Glock you should want. I'm getting the Glock 18, but also Stone, you should get the pink one for your girl, man. It's already scratched up and it's super cheap. The P15. I got one coming. It'll be here on Friday. Do you sell those? I own a gun store. Yes, Wind City Armory. 1911 lovers represent. Yep, second wife and kids. That's the second time Mike has done that. Oh, I didn't even know the full extent, dude. 950 JDJ bolt action. I wish. Sick collection. Thank you. Can't be talking about looks. There's a fair way between. Yeah, I can. I get more trim than you do. He has 2 ex-wives and a handful of kids. Nice. Do you know anything about it? I know a little bit, but not a terrible lot. You should go over to Forgotten Weapons if you want to learn. I have not seen Print Shoot Repeats video. Maybe I'll go check it out. What is a shotgun on the wall? That is a Remington 870 mag-fed. I guess I'm unsubbing Garand. I hate cheaters. So as I was saying, Demo Ranch... Matt Carricker is a cool dude, and he brought up a lot of those channels. So all those gun channels were getting traction. Brandon Herrera, Kentucky Ballistics, Garantham, all of them were gaining their traction. They go on Demo Ranch and they explode, and then they become million-plus sub-channels. Now they have these major sponsors they have to cater to, all this shit they need to do. They need to keep getting views in so they keep making the money. And what happens when you have to do that is you compromise your ability to deliver the kind of stuff that the hardcore fans were in for. You're just trying to get these new people. It's like Ed Sarkeesian, who does all the cool gun, different calibers, firing into concrete, shit like that. He is stuck forever trying to escalate what he does. It's also the reason Matt Carricker stopped, because he's been doing it for so long, he's kind of run out of shock value for his videos. Like, he'll get a sponsor for a gun, they'll send him like 3 rifles, and he'll go, here's the new rifle. And nothing I'm saying is intended to be like detrimental to them. It's just they aren't the kind of YouTuber that I am trying to be. Did you see my email? No, I didn't know you sent one. Did I hear about Lucas from T-Rex? No, what happened to Lucas, man? Oh, that pizza looks like the stuff my mom makes. That looks like some good stuff, dude. Mark 23, original Dampfront und original Zeitlife. Nice. Really? Why did he quit T-Rex? Paul Harrell passing was a gun tuber equivalent of Harambe. Yeah, Paul Harrell was one of the guys I loved watching. Even though, like, sometimes, like, when he did his ballistic stuff, it got a little boring, but he's pretty cool. Have I ever played Risk of Rain 2? No, I don't play many games. I play some driving games and then Fallout 4. We don't know yet, but there's some serious drama there. Now I gotta look that up. I'll look it up. You're doing a great job, bro. Ask my mom. Hey, Jimbo's mom! Am I doing okay? Lucas quit due to some illicit images being sent to someone close to him by a team member. The vid was posted like 2 days ago. Shit! How can I even go about owning a Glock 18? Do you have to purchase one that was made pre-ban 86? How much would that even cost? So, number one, good luck finding one that was built pre-86. That's the problem, because they didn't come to the United States until 1987. So you'd probably have to find like a pre-production one that was available for sale. And if you could find a pre-ban Glock 18, you're probably going to pay somebody somewhere in the 6-figure range for it. Here's how crazy the pre-ban, post-ban bullshit is. As a dealer, I'm getting my Class 3. It just hasn't come yet. As a Class 3 dealer, I can buy a Glock 18 as a dealer for $3,500. I can buy a full-auto M16 for $5,000. I can buy a goddamn GAU 2B, the minigun, not the one from the movies where it goes, and it has to go. No, I'm talking about that one you pull the trigger and it just goes. The ones that were on the C130 Spookies, I can buy one of those for $60,000, or I can spend $70,000 on a transferable MP5. Someone on T-Rex sent Lucas wife a dirty. Yeah, that's what you said. Learned a lot from Paul. You know, the first video I saw from Paul Harrell was how to spot a faker. I have a crippling addiction to finding old guns and buying them. I have a musket in my room from the British Revolution. That's not bad. It's not a crippling addiction. It's a desire. It's a hobby. Probably at least 6 figures. I don't think it exists. There's speculation that a couple of the prototypes made it to the market, but it's, you know, it's kind of like finding Elvis giving, you know, Jesus a hand job. Did you say 70,000 for an MP5? Yeah, if you look up fully transferable machine guns right now, there's several sites that are selling them. So a fully transferable MP5 SD, so that's the one that comes with the integrated suppressor, is about 70,000. They're about 60,000 for a non-suppressed version right now. I think the ATF changed some rules recently about them, and now they're all required law letters. The post sample ones, no, you can still get the 18 as a post dealer sample. I just can't sell it to law enforcement without those stupid things that you're talking about. But I can own them as a post dealer sample. I did look into that one. No, a full auto MP5 is $70,000. Morning East. It's an addiction when I spend all my money. It's an addiction when you suck dick to buy a gun. Mouse, they are small pizzas. They look small. Did you hear about the proposition to merge the ATF with the DEA? I think that there are good ATF agents, and I think they should disband the ATF and move them in that direction, but I think they should just become just federal cops. They should not be able to create laws. The ATF let a few of those cool miniguns across the border during Operation Fast and Furious, but we need paperwork. Ha! JB is enjoying the show. Cat says, hell no. I think they are normal size. Yep, you can't get it. You can get into machine guns that are transferable for about 14K, but it's not good. Lol, it's a Mac 10. If you go, I can't name the site obviously because it's YouTube, but there are a couple of sites where you can get like 30s and 40s full auto guns that aren't like Tommy guns and stuff under 10K, but they're pretty basic and they're usually like 45 ACP. Is that real? Yes, sure it is. No paperwork for a hand crank Gatling gun. Nope, you're right because that's technically semi-auto. MP7 full autos are even more expensive because they're extremely rare. Can you explain to me what post-dealer sample means? So if a gun is made after 1986, the only people that can, so post, it means post-ban, so after 1986, and a dealer sample means as a dealer, I can demonstrate the firearm. I can take it to a range. I can take it to a shoot. Like if you do like my buddies at Middletown or Liberty Arms, they do Faith and Freedom shoot every year. I can demonstrate the firearms. I cannot sell a post-dealer sample to a civilian. It's really hard to even sell them to law enforcement now. McManus gun store thinks he sucks dick for a free alien, especially when he got the boob pictures. How'd you like them boob pics? I went saw a gun my eyes will never see. Saw a penis gun. Lol. Lol, lol. Cody, what's up? Definitely, they aren't a lawmaker, so they have no right to do what they're doing. It's absolutely stupid. Yes, absolutely. So, in my opinion, like I said, there are plenty of good ATF agents. Like my ATF agent for my store is actually pretty hilarious, and he has a lot of guns. And when he did my interview, he was wearing a Cyanide and Happiness ATF Shoot Your Dog shirt, so it was hilarious. There's one that was stolen by the store. So my tits are all over the internet and all over the place, right? Are those real guns? Yes, Fortnite. Yes, I own a gun store in my life. Only thing that makes me worried about merging ATF and DEA is when the next Democrat comes in office, the ATF will have resources and authority of DEA. Yeah, but DEA hasn't just come out and said that, they do try to make drugs illegal, but they've never just said, hey, Tylenol's illegal. Screw you. I have an original 1911 pistol. I'm told it's valuable. What do you think? Colt 1911s, if you have a World War I, World War II, they are worth some money. If it has original finish and good patina, they're definitely worth some money. If you have one of the super rare ones like my buddy McManus does, then yes, they're worth some money. But Colt 1911s in general aren't really worth a ton of money. Not comparatively. You think we'll actually get paperwork less suppressor soon? I believe it will pass, but you have to remember that there'll probably be a 120 to 180 day period after it gets adopted before it goes into effect. How are you? Way, Grayson, what's up, son? Do I have any night vision goggles? No, I don't have anywhere to shoot at night other than my buddy's farm. He did say we could like shoot foxes on his farm, but I've never actually gone. Being distributed around town, lol. Hot. Mine's worth money because it's not a Colt. That's what I was saying. So, yeah, secular Singer 19. So, McManus will tell you, McManus has a Singer, but he won't shoot it, so it's worth about 50 to 60K less because it's untested. I offered to test it for him.
Show me the ammo.
You got a big range day on Sunday. Nice! I ordered my DWX today, so I got the optics cut finally after 2 years. For those of you that don't know, I had one of the coolest serial number DWXs ever, but it was not optics cut. It was X02202222. I had the 222nd one built in 2022, which was so old. Doesn't get fired or cleaned. You should at least oil it. I have a 3D printer and kind of want to do a printed Glock 19 lower. What do you think? I'm not a fan of them. We've been having a good time talking, and I like you, but I'll be honest, I don't trust 3D printed lowers, even if it's carbon fiber infused or PETG. I think you're eventually, if you try to put a lot of rounds through one, I feel they're going to go the way of the FN frames. They're just not reinforced correctly. Sorry. Did I hear anything about the Free from Freedom shoot? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. It might be rusting on the frame right now. Clean that shit, dude! A rusty singer, dude, you're just dropping your value. You're going to be like that guy on Pawn Stars that brought that rusty Superman ring in, that if it was a nice version of it, it was worth like $500,000, but because he decided to let it rust, it was worth $200. 120 days to 180 days, still better than the NFA. I don't know how true it is, but I've always been told if you have a tax stamp, they don't need a warrant to search. No, actually, they need... The ATF requires a reason to search your item, and they need to have a warrant for that particular item. So I have a suppressor. If the ATF shows up at my door with a warrant to search and see my suppressor, that is literally the only thing they can see. They're not allowed to look at anything else. I love the handgun collection. Thank you, True Soldier. You got 22. Nice. Possibly a resin printer could be stronger. Very possibly. I still don't trust them, man. There's a reason why companies spend billions of dollars to develop a gun. I'm sure it's rusting if it's in a safe deposit box. Dude, take some Pam oil over there, dude. Spray it down. It'll smell good when you shoot it. Yeah, it was at the end of April, dude. Or May. Sorry. What's your opinion on 22 for self-defense? Sorry, dude. Did you know Rosa Parks' husband owned a car? That explains why she was on the bus. I didn't know she was married, dude. What's your favorite gun? 1911s. Was it hard to obtain your FFL? Are there a lot of hurdles and hoops you need to jump through in order to obtain it? Yeah, they really don't want to give out private FFLs right now. I own a brick and mortar store, so it was easier that way. I meet all criteria. I have a good background. I have good, personal history. So it was pretty easy. It was just time consuming. The only people who can legally ask you for the tax stamp paperwork are ATF and IRS officials with a valid reason. Some states allow regular law enforcement to do it as well, but unlikely. Aren't they required to have somebody from ATF accompany them too? 1911 right there. Yep. Okay, thank you for the information. No problem, Chief. Like I said, they can't just, in the end, if just a sheriff shows up or somebody shows up because you bought a few guns at your local gun store, they legally cannot ask to see your firearms, especially if they're not class 3 items. Desert Eagle or Deagle? That's the same thing, Casey. I think it depends on the state, but most of them probably do. I know here in Virginia, no local Leos are allowed to show up. They have to get ATF involved. I do hope so. The bank is climate controlled. Yeah, the owner of Little Caesars paid for Rosa Parks' apartment. What? Black History Month was before. We're in Pride now, so can we throw up some LGBTQ facts? Do I have one M1 Garand? No, sold it. Never shot it. So it's a gun that does me no good because I'm not a rifle guy. No, there is no automatic gun above the suppressed one. That is just a regular AR-15. Do you have an ARP? Yes, I've got a couple of them. Just don't care about. Everybody cares about them when they're robbing you. Gay people own guns, I'm told. I got a pink Glock, so yeah. I see a little craziness in your eyes. Thank you. If you don't, anybody that's successful in any endeavor is slightly narcissistic, and I'm a successful everything. What's the hardest gun you have? I don't understand the question. Are those all yours? Yes. What shotgun is that at the top? It is the Remington 870D. Yeah, I got the D. It's the detachable mag variant. Get the RTX 5090 all black and have a 1911 all black next to it, both completely new. It will look amazing. Yeah, if you want to give me a couple of grand for a 5090, I just bought a Dan Wesson DWX for less than the cost of a 5090, my guy. Is this live? I don't know. Did I just answer your question? Hey, what's up? How you doing, Jacob? What gun is your favorite? 1911s. Cadden Glock. What's your favorite gun? 1911s. It's an uncommon shotgun too. Yeah, it's not too popular. I was gonna say Remington 870, but I didn't know. Yeah, it's a Remington 870, and my buddy put a different grip and stock on it, so it looks slightly different. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Daron says he just wanted to say what's up and he loves the channel. Thank you, brother. I have a joke. What's the leading cause of death in lesbians? Friction burns. Lol. I was going to say suffocation. Do I have a unicorn of guns? I do have an STI Grandmaster, so that's kind of a unicorn. And the DWX Optics Cut is very rare, so that's kind of a unicorn. And I do have a pre-World War II 1894 30-30 and a 1903 pocket hammerless. Those are all kind of rare guns, but nothing like nobody else has. I'm going to buy a Glock. Good for you. Is that a Remington? Yes. What's the form if you buy 2 guns at once, and why is it a thing? So if you buy multiple handguns in one transaction, that's fine. The 4473 covers that. If you buy more than one transaction in a 5 business day period, you have to do a multiple handgun transaction form. And that's just because you've done multiple gun purchases on multiple days. So if you are in any reason under suspicion of any sort of crime, then they can go ahead and kind of check on you. One that you'd like to acquire. Dude, the one I've been trying to get for the longest time, Paul, was an Optics Cut DWX, and they finally got one for me. I don't pay retail. I could have paid $2,400 and gotten one, but I don't pay retail. I'm a distributor. I'm an FFL. Honestly, cost on them is $1,800, which is still too much in my opinion, but I sold my other one for $2,000, so that's fine. So yeah, I'm getting the one that I've been looking for. No, please don't do that, Forward. We'll all get in trouble. Do I have a Spaz shotgun? No, they're very expensive. I would like to have one, though. There's more divorces in the lesbian community than the gay community, therefore women are the problem. Dude, here's the deal. When a dude is angry at another dude, the other dude doesn't give a shit. When a girl is angry at a girl, it's just 2 people standing around going, you know what you did. Why does this remind me of the Gunstore and GTA? I get that from time to time. Just scored a Glock 35 for $425 new, ordered 9mm conversion barrel for $107. Or you could have gone on Palmetto State Armory. They're selling the 34 for like 5 something. Just saying. Jake, I'm glad you're back, but stop typing in caps, brother. Do I have a car in 98K? No. Do you got a semi-auto? No. Never seen a semi-auto. Whopper with cheese or without? With cheese, baby. No onions, though. It's dealer cost on the Glock 48. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but probably around $400. Let's do the special. Because I'm special, Dinah. It's awesome. You basically got your dream gun. It's one of my dream guns. I also have the STI Grandmaster, which was one of my dream guns. My next dream gun is actually a... Nighthawk Customs double stack. Manum, what's up? Hey, another verified YouTuber. I don't get too many of you people in here. ECM is the best. The gun is real behind you. Yes, they are all real behind me. Bravo Company is the best AR-15 brand, period. I've only used their parts. I'll agree that I like their parts. I've never actually shot one of their complete guns. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thank you, Has to Bet the Car. How do I feel about M&P? I like the M&P. M&P 2.0 is great. Italian Beretta better or American made? Italian for sure. Fries or mozzarella sticks? Onion rings. Even though I don't like raw onions, I like fried onions. What's the typical distributor retail price difference? It depends on where you go. A lot of stores, like private stores, are like 20 to 30% markup. I'm not that high, but it's in there. Paul, you should buy it. It's available. Chicken or beef, and why? Beef, just because I like the texture of beef better than chicken, and chicken is too easy to undercook. Also, most chicken that you typically buy is on the bone, and I don't like the taste of bone, so I don't like carcass. Like filet mignon, and I can handle T-bone as long as I eat it fresh, but I also don't reheat or eat meat that's been cooked once, over more than once. Typing off a cat. No problem, Jake. Thoughts on a skeletonized rifles? I'm all for it, dude. The rifle, the mechanism is what's important. Are those real guns? Yes. Do I have a Barrett? No, I really want one, though. I just won't pay the full price. Thoughts on full size and compact echelon? I have not shot the compact. I like the full size. Korean, don't like raw onions? No way. I also don't like garlic. I don't like ginger, and I don't like racism. All right, I like one of those. Regular wiener or footlong? Regular wiener. I'm half Asian. Are Temu guns worth it? Didn't even know they sold guns. What about dry aged steak? Don't know if I've ever had a good dry aged steak. 5.56 versus 300 blackout, depending on what you're using it for. Home defense, 300 blackout. Longer ranges, 5.56. Barretts are so cool. Yes, Barretts are. I have both in full size, is smoother, but compact fits in the hand so well. There you go. What? No racism? I said one of those. Anybody touch any Temu optics? Dude, Nightcore just sent me another light, speaking of Asian companies. I like onions. Good. You have a sniper. I have some dedicated marksman rifles, but no regular rifles. No like long distance precision rifles. I've officially changed my life around. I started my new job on Monday. No more taking out 27 APR on V6 Challengers. Dude, you're such a liar. You told me it was a Hellcat. Have I shot the DWX Compact? No, sir, I have not. I've only shot the full size. The smaller one is more of a PO1 clone with the night than even the DWX. So I'm sure it shoots amazing. Wagyu steak is the best. I like Wagyu lobster. That's where they feed lobster Wagyu beef. You look suspicious with all those guns. You look suspicious with your screen name, Russian spy. Do I hunt deer? I've never been hunting. You need that? Yes, I need it. I need all positions. Playing around with my Holosun. Some more. Oh, the thermal? Nice. Bone marrow is good if you put it with stuff. No, I hate the taste of bone marrow. My mom used to snap chicken bones in half and suck out the marrow because she's full Korean. It was nasty. I do not have a Python. I run a GP100 personally. Thoughts on SIG? They're fine. Just, you know, if you're worried about the 320 situation, just don't get a 320. They make a lot of them. The fact that you can remember my own line better than me is incredible. Hey, thank you, Stucky. Do you have Dracos? No, because I have a nice gun shop. What are your thoughts on cheaper mag-fed semi-auto shotguns like the Citadel Boss? I've never shot one. They're all Turkish clones. As long as you break them in correctly, they'll run fine. A lot of Turkish stuff runs fine. You want to go with the 7.62 NATO round, it goes 800 millimeters. The meters when the 5.56... 300 blackout has massive drop-off. Are you sure about that? Thoughts on pork rinds? I like pork rinds. Are you a mechanic at all? Yes, I got a TP9 SFX and a Meta behind me. I only eat Doritos and Mountain Dew. Nice! Is the Deagle the only one you had that was 50 cal? It was, but I sold it. You think Echelon is better than Glock or SIG? I think the 320 X5 Legion back there is better than my Echelon was, but yeah, anything's better than Glock. Have I shot a Desert Eagle? Yeah, I sold my Desert Eagle because none of my friends wanted to pay for the frickin' ammo. I love your wall more every day. Thank you, Guardian. Like I said, I've got 3 more guns that will be here on Friday, too, so Friday's going to have even more. Would you eat a beef liver on live for enough money? Yeah, I would, for sure. What about 300 blackout? Somebody said that it's good to 800 yards. Even I admit my 8.6 drops like a rock past 440. I bought one of the Mac 1014s that are M4 clones. Man, it's been nothing but great. Yeah, I've heard that, actually. The Military Armament Corporation 1014, I've heard they're actually pretty solid. I have some stuff coming from TSOS, which is SDS, which owns Military Armament Corporation, so... Need to buy another safe before I buy more guns. No, you need to buy more guns, so you have to buy another safe. I ate the whole pizza. Nice! No, you can't pick up guns on live streams. TP9 is amazing. I got my custom holster for an Olight Mini. Nice, dude. 5.56 is a wounding round. 300 black is a killing round. I agree. But you can do some work with the 5.56 if you aim. You picked up the Daniel Defense H9. I've held them. Interesting. It's not a true H9. It's not a true Hudson because they modernized it and fixed some of the issues that a Hudson actually had. But it's pretty nice. What brand is that? Diamondback. Supers out of an 18 might hit something like that far, but it destroys the point of 300. Agreed. 7.62 is a murder round. 7.62 is not an actual round. You got 7.62 by 25, 32, 30, 39, 54, 51. Which 7.62 are you talking about, bud? Just saying 7.62 is like fully virtue signaling that you're a COD player. I have a true Hudson. Yeah, you do. So does my other buddy. What's your biggest one? My left one, the right one's a little bit smaller for some reason, but everybody's like that. Dan Wesson Bruin or Kodiak, and a small answer of why. I haven't messed with the Bruin. I have messed with the Kodiak. I like the Kodiak, so I'll take the Kodiak just as default. My gun safe is another gun. The only downside is I can't shoot at fire and emergency. You can always shoot at the fire and emergency. It's the efficacy of the bullet that matters. Yes, I've got an echelon. Yep, you exited for the elimination of the... Am I excited? Hell yeah. What do you think about the PSA gold-plated crank? And would you get one? No, I don't want to do gold-plated guns. Too many people do gold-plated guns. For a while, I had a bronze collection going, but I would not do a gold-plated one. I have a Glock 19 back there. Yes, right there, behind, right there, right there. 19 MOS. What pistol, in your opinion, is way overhyped? Any staccato. You have a 50 cal? No, that's the thing. I need another heavy-duty fireproof safe. You can get that one. Have I ever played airsoft? No, I have. I own and have used airsoft, but I've never gone to like an airsoft field. What is the most average Joe gun? Unfortunately, a Glock. Yeah, but it's not a average Joe. It is the, how do you say, average Sven. No, that's Swedish. Gunther. Yeah. You like Olights? Olights are fine. They're a less expensive gun, but they're fine. Show us your favorite automatic assault rifle. Unfortunately, I can't do any of that. Thoughts on the Apache? They're fine. They're expensive. When are you going to shoot the guns? I shoot them every week, man, and I put up videos as often as I can. Is a DWX a clone? Hold on. Of the CZ Orange? No. DWX has a 1911 trigger pack and a 1911 slide. It's not even close to a CZ clone. Also, it's technically owned by CZ, so it's another CZ variant. Good staccato substitute. Bull Armory, which sells their full-size guns for less. Alpha Foxtrot, a lot of them. Yeah, the apparels were beautiful. What's the best 6-hour? 226 or 320? 226. I want to get an airsoft pistol you have to rack every time for the moths in my room. That would be fun. Get a bug assault gun. AR shotgun still in production. A lot of companies make them. So far, what's your favorite gun of the month? Honestly, I was able to get my DWX, so I'm getting my DWX, and that's going to be my favorite. It looks like a CZ because the lower is basically a Shadow 2 lower with a 1911 top, but the trigger assembly is all 2011 or 1911. It's a 75 variant, just like the Alien. Not really. And they're not really ripping it off, McManus, because CZ worked with Dan Wesson to develop the gun. So it is a CZ. It's just sold under Dan Wesson's name because the top is the 1911. Do you like bullpup guns? I appreciate them, but no, I don't like them. They have bad triggers. Nice collection. Do you have any Rock Islands? I was thinking about getting one, but I don't know about the quality. I haven't... ripped off. It's not ripped off. They collaborated. So yes, Rock Island is good. Quality is better than a lot of the Turkish stuff right out of the box. And they take a lot. Oh, Lago. Yeah, Lago definitely did. Actually, it was a CZ designer that started Lago Alien. So yeah, he did steal it. Do you ever get burned out on guns? I can. Like, I was watching somebody shoot the DWX today on YouTube, and I was like, God damn, I don't even know if I want to shoot it. CZ bought Dan Wesson because they wanted to use Dan Wesson's revolver and rebrand it as CZ, but they wound up not doing that. I think it's the horrible communist state. I agree. Do you think it's worth getting the B&T TP9 upgrade kits as a part of... I have no idea, dude. I've never messed with the full BT. I know he worked on the Scorpion. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, because Lago. Yep. Even the alien mags look like Scorpions. Yep. Is that a Glock 17? No, it's a Glock 22. Cheesecake or cake? A good, like, chocolate cake, I'll take over cheesecake, but I like cheesecake. Do you have any automatics? Not yet. Yeah, dude, I only took the C96 twice in the range, and one time was with you. The DWX, I just looked it up. It's one nasty pistol. So, no, it's not a copy of the TSO. It's a completely different gun. It has a CZ-based frame, but it has a linear trigger as opposed to a hinge trigger and a 1911 assembly. You should probably not have eaten the whole pizza. Just don't eat the other one. What's that tungsten color gun? There's technically two of them there. The one with the optic is a... the bottom one is a SIG 320 X5 Legion. That upper one is a SIG, it's a Canic TP9 SFX with an enclosed EPS, or not an EPS, an enclosed RMR. Do you have an automatic? No, Casey, stop. I just said chocolate cake. Chocolate cake, please. No, I don't like anything in my cheesecake, Stone. I like plain cheesecake. Rock Island or Gerson for the first 1911. Depends on if you want just pick up and shoot. If you just want pick up and shoot, I'm going to recommend the Rock Island over the Gerson. And sorry if Omar's watching this, but it's true. I think the Rock Island has the better initial quality. Gersons are very upgradable, but the Rock Island you can just pick up and shoot. I'm not beholden to any brand just because they've sent me $3,000 worth of guns. Yeet cannon, yep. The other one is property of Mrs. Mouse now. Nice. Have I ever shot an elephant? No, sir. The DWX is technically the best parts of the T series, the 75 and the 70 series 1911. I can put it that way. Clear example of compulsive buying disorder. No, it's not compulsive. I've wanted these guns for a long time. The guns I own are guns that I've always wanted. The guns that are for sale in my gun store are guns that I know people want. So, where can I find a Silencer Co. Maxim 9? Silencer Co. Maxim 9 is no longer in production, so you can only buy them used or new old stock, and I have no idea, dude. What gun behind you would you grab if somebody stupidly entered your house unannounced? The 1911 sitting in front of me is the gun I would grab. We cool. I prefer cheesecake though. Like I said, I really like cheesecake, but I can eat half an entire chocolate cake. I can only eat like one piece of cheesecake. Rock Island is cast metal though. The Gerson is forged. Rock Islands, I thought they were forged frames, but they're not 100% non-MIM, but I still think their quality is better. Even if they are full cast still. Once you get the DWX, you'll want to sell the Gerson though. No, not going to happen. I still want a Ruger Alaskan in 454. Nice. Have I ever shot a Gen 12? No. Good luck. I've been looking for a Maxim 9 for years. Dude, they came up all the time at Liberty for sale, and I just never bought one. I'll look for one. If I can get one, I'll eventually get one. What kind of shotgun? Remington 870 detachable mag. FN or Ruger 5.7, best bang for the buck. Ruger. FNs are almost $1,000 even for their basic one. The QC of Rock Island is very good. Yeah, so they've built more 1911s, even more than Gerson or T-Sauce combined, I believe. Rock Island has built more 1911s than anybody else. Can you look for a PO8 Luger? I'll keep my eyes open. I'll let you know. How much would an AR-15 with Trijicon, ACOG, Scope, RMR, Red Dot, and a night vision laser sell for? Also a tripod. Way too much money. I'm not even pricing that shit out. Gerson Match X is so cool. It's a cheaper Staccato. Yeah, I've got it right there. That is the same gun. I've had mine for a few months. Yes, he had some issues because he had two versions. One which was the pre-2025 build. They sent some out in 2024, and then he had the one that was modified. Mine has never had a issue other than a mag issue. Does a DWX have a light trigger like the TSO or close? It's about a 3-pound trigger, but because it's a linear trigger, it's a better trigger. World War II budget 1911. I can get you one of those, no problem. It's POA at the gun store in Reno, Mouse. It's a Black Widow. Do you like 6-shooters or revolvers? I like swing-out cylinder revolvers. I'm not a fan of the single-action Army style. Do you have anything Nighthawk? No, I want to get some, but I own too many like $3,000 guns, so I can't afford a $5,000 gun. Let's say I was selling one that was handed down. How much would I sell it for? That's not my job to tell you, buddy. Sorry, I'm not an appraiser. Would you still buy a SIG? Sure. As much as I don't like my Staccato P, it's never malfunctioned. Yep. Does the Match X take Staccato mags? Yes. Checkmate makes the mags for Staccato. They also make them for a lot of manufacturers, so they're made by Checkmate. I actually have a couple of their 19-rounders. I did a video on them, and I have some range footage. They're having issues in my Gerson. I'm waiting for my T-Sauce to show up just to see if it was... See, I modified the crap out of my Match X. Like, I actually removed a ton of material on accident, so mine is a lot lighter. You can almost air rack mine now. So I need to get a standard... They're sending me a Gerson... They're sending me a T-Sauce duty double-stack bull barrel gun, and I'll test their mags with that one because I'm having some failure to feeds out of their 19s. Do they make a small frame 1911? Yes, it's called the 1911 CS. I heard much positive reviews on Glocks, but I didn't want to be an average Joe. Storner showed me the Kamenic TP9, instantly fell in love with it. There you go, Reptile. I am not. That's not my job, spectator. Ask again and you get banned. Happy to have a Beretta 87 target. No, I do not have an 87 target. Night vision is a freaking superpower, but you have zero place to train at night. It's kind of pointless. You could do air guns and tracer rounds. Scotto P magazines are horribly expensive. Yeah, Maxim with the original integral suppressors on Gunbroker for $1,000. And honestly, that's about what they originally sold for, Jeff. And thank you for your donation, Jeff. I did see it. Does Max X come RMR cut? No, it's RMSC. The only 2011 right now that is going to come that way is the Mac DS9 Comp. That one is RMR cut right from the factory. 90% of them. You've been watching me for months. Dude, when I tell you twice that it's not I'm not an appraiser and I'm not giving you prices, you know, I'm not getting into it. Glad you watched me for months. Sorry to lose you. I have lots of places where I train under night vision. I don't train in either. I love the old military artillery version. That one's a little longer. I really like those 380s that Gerson makes with the tip-up barrel too. I think all those style guns are pretty freaking cool. Nice. Widow's a new subscriber. Thank you. I like Glocks, but I also like to keep one up top. So I choose not to carry a Glock. I'm scared of an accidental discharge. Redline, and I don't mean this as an offense to you or in any way trying to be rude to you, but if you're too scared to carry with one in the chamber, you should not be carrying a gun. The proper way to carry a gun is with one in the chamber and the action ready to go. If you have a double action gun, that's probably safer. But if you can't trust yourself with one in the chamber, you need to practice with the gun more before you're carrying it. No switches, Widow. Do I have a 450 Bushmaster? Nope. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I carry a Glock 17 Gen 5. Never had a discharge. There you go. I like thermal because I don't need it to be dark. Downside, you can see through glass or an IR. Nice. Green or red dot? The gun store sold me on the green dot because I have astigmatism. Stigmatisms are... It is easier to pick up the green dot. For me, it really doesn't matter. I'll take either one. No 50 cals. Guys, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. So, no, the ND I had was with the Tokarev, but that was my fault. I'll be right back. I'm going to hit pause so you don't hear the water splash. Uh-oh, you heard the zipper. Joe's about to do something dirty. Look at the wall. I just filled this whole bottle. It's clear. I think I might have a sugar problem. Where is my mixes? I need some mixes. Where is my mixes? Sorry, I need my drinksies. Jojo needs his drinks. I love watching you guys type. Have I ever heard of water talk? Means he had an AD that resulted in high-speed circumcision. Well, let me see your biggest gun. Use your eyeballs. Ew, Coke. It's just an empty bottle. I only could find one of my juice mixes. I don't know where the bag is, so I'm going to make a smaller bottle. Hey, Bullseye. You're watching a guy with nerve damage try his hardest not to spill shit. Ah. Oh my, that sounds horrible. Why did he do that to his privates? I have no idea who you're talking about. What do I do if the cops come? I know a lot of cops. What do you mean? Tell me what the Vegas Shark Game Type 1 gun is because I want to get one after I do my lessons and get my license. I have no idea what you're talking about. What's the Woodstock to your right side? That's an AK. I'll show you all the guns here in... Well, let's do it right now because it's 10:30. Your melanin sheath there, not there, right? My myelin sheath, yes. So I have mixed connective tissue disorder. It's an autoimmune disorder, but I also have it's a degenerative disorder, which deteriorates your myelin sheath, allowing you to suffer because, you know, human. We aren't allowed to defend ourselves with the gun. That's because you worship a king in England, even though you're in Canada. Get with the program. We did it like 250 years ago. Join us here in America. Become our North America brethren. I don't know what that voice was. Holy shit. Yeah. We're going to do it like this. That's a 37 millimeter Blue tube. 1970. I can't think of words. So that's a 1970 Romanian kit with the dong assembled in Winchester. Diamondback DB15. Arex 01 Tactical. Optics cut. Obviously threaded barrel with my suppressor on it. That's the one Drunk Mouse and Lycan paid for. That's the Arex Alpha chambered in 9mm. So that's the competition version of that, basically, supposedly, even though they're completely different guns. My Gerson 2311 Match X. It's a goddamn 2011. You can see my buddy Greg did some tree bark stippling on it, and I refinished it into a black, completely black gun. 6-hour 1911X and 45 ACP, 60 rounds in. The safeties are losing their coloring, and it has discoloring on the frame after only 60 rounds, which I'm not a fan of. That gun is on my website, and it's extremely cheap because it's got a ton of scratches on it, so you should go check that shit out. Right there. Springfield Operator, 45 ACP. Mitchell Arms, Gold Series 95, 45 ACP. The 01 TAC looks like it's stock from afar. The X1. Ah, nice. Para Ordnance P1345, 1911. Beretta 92 FS Ghost. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. Yeet Cannon. Everybody needs a Yeet Cannon. Remington 870. Most of these will be up there come Friday because I have not updated the website in a few weeks. FK Burno belongs to a buddy of mine, 75FK. Canik TP9 SFX with the, new Siley Wolf enclosed RMR. My SIG P320 X5 Legion with the Armory Craft dual adjustable trigger and the SIG Romeo 1 Pro. My CZ SP01 with blue grips. A Glock 19 MOS because everybody asked me if I have a Glock, so there is one. Glock 22 in 40 caliber.
Tanfoglio Witness, which is just a clone of a CZ75, but made in Italy. HK VP9. That's nice, thank you. Just nice pro, yep. Just bought a 226 40th anniversary edition. Nice. So that's the HK VP9 with the match weight on it. It's kind of like the, cool look. HK VP70 belongs to my buddy Alex. Beretta 92 Brigadier. Samurai Edge, it's Jill's gun from Resident Evil. My buddy Alex built that one. Taurus PT92 Compact, pretty nice. Canic Meta SFT, pretty nice. Let's see. Palmetto State Rock 5.7 threaded barrel optics cut. Taurus G3X and a Ruger SR9C. So that's the guns.
How well does the magazine function? It functions better than the Mossberg 500 or 590 box mag fed one. It's more of an AK style click in versus the Mossbergs, which is terrible. Nice collection. It's fine. Eli, there is no Draco on my wall, nor will there ever be a Draco on my wall. Dracos are for unsophisticated people who don't understand how rifle cartridges work. And if you say put a brace or a stock on a Draco, you might as well buy a gosh dang AK. The AK looks really nice. Yeah, it really is, dude. Do I have a PO8? No. Curious questions. Boondock Saints movies. I don't know off the top of my head. My gun shop. Yep. Wind City Armory. Does it have a muzzle brake, or what is at the tip of the AK? It does have a muzzle brake. I don't know what the brand is. Love my AK. Do you have a Desert Eagle? Nope. The AK is a curio and relic. Technically, yes, because it's a 1970 kit. However, I believe it was built in 2008, so technically also no. Did you ever own a flamethrower? Not personally, but I've sold a bunch to people and we borrowed them from people. I didn't shake it fast enough and now it's solidified at the bottom of the bottle. Are they all yours at home? All my guns are mine. You just need to slap a comp mag in it. There you go. Got a Kalashnikov USA M92 fixed and underfolder. Nice. It's too bad Kalashnikov USA went out of business. Interesting, I think because the gun is in its original state and made in 1970, it's curio relic. It might be, but the serialized part, the receiver, was not made in 1970. Yes, you can suppress 1911. They actually suppress very well because 45 ACP is naturally subsonic, but also the tilting action on a 1911 is a lot less pronounced than it is on like a striker fire gun. Burners are very expensive, but they do work. Caleb listens to Slim Shady. What make and model is the bottom right, the colorful one? And that is a 3D printed sign. Yeah, the compromise mag is a fixed mag that holds 10 rounds. Some suppress well, others not so much. Well, I mean, that's like saying the same thing about a tree. Have no fear, the best viewer that is not a mod is here. What's up, Mountain Man? Did you hear a congressman snuck the Hearing Protection Act into the budget bill, would remove the tax stamp changeover and suppressors if passed? You can't sneak in bills, but it was voted on and passed the House, and hopefully it'll breeze through. So Wolverine worth it for an AK? I don't know what the Wolverine is. Do you have a Glock 911? Sure. What kind of gun did RoboCop had? He had a Beretta 93R with a custom body on it. Put an FN together 30 years ago. Can you still get parts kits? Go to Numeric, Numrich, and check them. Classic American Spy Gun is a suppressed 1911. What you on about? Classic American Spy Gun is a suppressed 1911? What? Hey, Orange, what's up?
How much are shotguns? You can get shotguns from 150 all the way up to thousands of dollars, my friend. No, there's no story time, Reptile. Nobody's ever tried to do that to me. Mikey, we've listed it multiple times. You ask one more time, you go away. I already have a beautiful AK-103. Beautiful fin grip instead of pistol grip. Don't worry, when you move to a real city, what is the hearing protection thing? So they want to pass a bill to remove suppressors from NFA, which means there will no longer be a tax stamp, and they will go back to just being an accessory, which is all they actually are. When do they vote on the bill? Whenever the Senate meets. I'm not sure right now. I'm not sure. Kate Beckinsale had one of the full auto 92s, and Underworld Beretta makes a lot of appearances in movies. I didn't even know she had guns. I was too busy looking at her and rubber and a corset. What's a good beginner gun? A BB gun. Wolverine suppressor for the AK, is it worth it? I've never shot a Wolverine suppressor, so I honestly don't know, sir. I can't do the Chucky laugh because I don't know what the Chucky laugh sounds like. If the bill passes, do they still have to have a serial number? I'm not 100% sure. Right now, it's mostly to eliminate it from the NFA Act. I'm guessing they're going to have serial numbers, and I don't think they're going to drop much in price for a while. I need to bought it, though. Feeling fade lately. I just want to... You know what, dude? I will help you out. So, expect a call from somebody. Reciprocity? What, like you give me head and I sleep with your girlfriend? Is a Smith & Wesson 2.0 4-inch barrel 10mm any good? Yes, their 10mm are good. They also shoot 40 pretty easily. What's the one with the blue handle on the rack back there? That is a CZ SP01. Pretty solid gun.
We've gotten 2 hours and 10 minutes now. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, that's what that one is. Hold on, I need to refresh. My chat likes to lock up on me for some reason. They're going to sell like crazy if it passes. Yeah, they will, but that's the reason why they're not going to probably not going to lower the price because they can still do it. I believe every gun should be legal. It's the person that's the problem, not the gun. When a person proves they're not trustworthy with a gun, that's when you take the gun away from that person. As free-thinking, law-abiding individuals, we should all be able to carry whatever we want. I should be able to carry a goddamn GAU 2 on top of my car if I want. You're going to go buy the Smith & Wesson. Nice. I have a Kimber 1911 that has a problem with the mag only going in when I depress the mag release. Any ideas? If it's doing that, it could be the mag release, but it could also be the follower on the mag jamming against your slide lock slide release. So I would look for fitment between those two components. But if it's only going when you're hitting the mag release, then it has to do with the way that the mag release is cut. I would take the mag release out and change it if you have another brand laying around and see if it does it with the new one. Show us a screwdriver set in the back of the sloths, please. No, it's just a P-handle set from Wheeler. Is a Smith & Wesson 3566 TSW a good pistol and suitable for carry? Yes, it's suitable for carry. A lot of cops used to carry it back in the day. I got an email that said the CCW is going to create felony traps. Do you know anything about it? No, I don't know anything about it. The reciprocity trap, that's an interesting way of putting it. I honestly don't know. That would suck. But I don't know how it would cause a reciprocity trap. Anti-air on top of the gun shop. I think the salon above me might get angry. Yeah, you can forward it to me. What are your opinions about the 22 life cards? They're an interesting concept. I personally have never heard about them successfully defending somebody. They're more of a novelty in my opinion. Technical Tuesday, always day. Old school Tacoma with the mod deuce in the back. Nice. Alright, Mouse, I'll take a look. I'm reading it right now, Benj. Bunch. It's a well-intended bill. Unfortunately, doesn't live up to its name. It's not going to pass because it has too many exacting definitions in it. It has too much stuff that too many people will oppose. It's not going to pass. What do you think of P320? They're fine now. It's just the company that sucks. What's your thoughts on cannabis being legal at the state level but not the federal level? Kind of like alcohol. I think it should be legal, and you should not be using it when you're driving, shooting a gun, etc. Because you really shouldn't be drinking when you're shooting a gun or driving. As long as you're a responsible user, I don't give a shit, dude. More people die of alcohol than of THC, so alcohol is actually worse for you. Tyrone, what's up? Good night from Brazil. Do you think the new AR-15 the High Point is producing will be worth it, or just another cheap letdown, considering the 995 carbine has a reputation that it does? So High Point's interviews and stuff said that they're just building it to mil specs, and they're using aluminum frames and lowers and stuff, so it will be fine. There's nothing in the gun by itself that will cause me to be concerned. I hope it doesn't pass, and screw everyone that, like the email says. Yeah. You need a double bowel. That's gross. Good morning from China. I am from China. This is a Chinese accent. If you don't know that this is a Chinese accent, you do everyday carry, and if you do, what's your pick? I carry a 1911 full size. Always carry a 1911. I didn't eat much today, so I'm very thirsty. Trying to find out, are you shop representative and you guys buying the, or am I guy buying these guns and hanging them on the wall? I own a shop, but I did buy the vast majority of those firearms just to keep for myself anyway. Oh no, I have Facebook notifications. I didn't even realize I had this phone with me. When are you going to start carrying the Gerson? It's my shop phone, so it's my secondary phone. You ever heard about the Chinese Godfather? He made them an offer they couldn't understand. Lol. Yeah, I got it, Mikey. When am I going to start carrying the Gerson? As soon as they become available, I'd be happy to get you one. They're still showing as allocated. I will put it in for a want. As soon as they become available, I'll let you know, dude. I actually want to get the Match S, which is the steel frame version without the comp, because I already have the comp gun. So once I can get one of those, I will. I got to head out. Jesus loves you. Thank you, Forward. It was good talking to you. You have a good one, man. Mechanic SFX. There's one up there, my friend. Absolutely, my guy. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I have no friends now to make me fall. You like comps or ports? They're fine. I appreciate a good compensated firearm. I don't go out of my way just to get comped guns. It's not like it's the only thing I want, but I like them. Love the collection. Thank you. Shut the door. What is your EDC? 1911 full size. I got a good idea today about my J-frame. If anybody asks me what the clip is, I say it's my second cell phone and not to worry about it. There you go. I knew a dude that used to film things, and he would put the camera on the bill of his hat, and he kept telling people it was a remote for his car. Do you know about Canuck guns? My buddy's a representative, keeps trying to persuade me to buy this one, 357 lever action. No, I really don't, dude. Do you have a Kel-Tec? Yes. Hey, man. Hope you're having a good night and hydrating. I drank one of these today, and I'm Almost halfway through one of these. I haven't eaten today, so I'm only drinking water. What tool rack do you have? It's the Wheeler P handle. It does Torx, Allen, and Hex, but it's actually shit. Wobbler Crash says, can I try one of those? Thank you for the huge donation. $10 is huge. Thank you so much. No, you can't try one of them, but if you imagine it, close your eyes real quick, and I will ghost the trigger for you. Ready? Well, that's funny. Remote for his car. Yeah. What's up, TJ? California trying to ban Glock. California tries to ban everything. CCW, my second cell phone, would be a legit good idea. You're on call? I hope you don't have to go in. Love my SDR Diamondback. 357 is my new EDC. Nice. Carry my 220 daily until I find more 357 ammo or a 40 Smith & Wesson barrel for the 229. I got 3 boxes of Federal if you need it, dude. I'll mail it to you and give you a good deal. What's the gun at the very top on the right? Your right or my right? So this is my right. If it's my right, that's a Beretta. If it's your right, that's a Diamondback AR-15. I hope Jackson is okay. I hope he has diarrhea. Boom, boom, boom. What's your opinion on FN57? Overpriced. They had the patent on it for 30 years or 20, whatever it is, the length that you can own a patent. Once it expired, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Palmetto State, and TSOS all came out with their 5.7s, and they're all better. $700 to get your CCW and the gun? That sucks. Can't even get ammo shipped to your house in New York anymore, and you need to fill out a form background check. You know what is funny, though, Jesse? If an individual were to mail an individual something in a nondescript box, who's to say what it is? What's your thoughts on a P90? I'm not a bullpup guy, but it's kind of an interesting firearm. Paid less for my CCW, but I got it from the LAPD. I think he was talking about with the gun. I hope he was talking about with the gun. What's the deal with 357 ammo? It's hard to find. It's not just hard to find, it's expensive. So when you're looking at it, like distributors in the country when it comes to ammunition and their selection of 357 in stock, so there's 59 SKUs for it. In stock, they actually have a bunch. So I can get new or I have old stock Federal. It's just finding stores in certain areas that carry it is always a problem. Funny thing about California, the guns are bad, but I'm able to carry a sword. Nice. I shipped to my house legally in California. I have an FFL03, a COE, and a CCW. Hey, he's got all the acronyms. I'm going to get a medical marijuana card. Can I no longer buy guns? So there are a couple of states that allow you to buy a firearm, but here's the deal. Your state legalizes the marijuana card, but on a federal level, marijuana is still illegal, and you have to fill out a 4473, which is a federal document, and question 21 on that federal document states verbatim, are you a user of or addicted to any federally controlled substance? And in parentheses, it does say that marijuana is federally controlled. So once you are known to be a registered user of marijuana products, it does in most states preclude you from being able to buy a firearm. There are exceptions. Here in the state of Virginia, if you have a medical marijuana card, you're automatically denied. Do I have a Glock 19? Yes. It's behind my head, literally behind my head. You already have a bunch of guns in my name and concealed carry. Guns that you already own, but keep in mind that you need to look it up for the state you're in, Dreamsy. Because if you look it up and it says that it will preclude you from purchasing another. So if you didn't have the card when you bought the other guns, you're fine. But now that you're willingly admitting that you use a federally controlled substance, and you would be forced to lie on a 4473, it can be pretty bad. Jesus, you guys pay that much? It's $40 here in Virginia. Are Glock 19s overrated? Yes. Some cities around me make people pay like $3K. Jesus. That's crazy, dudes. Have you ever shot a 22? Nope. I could just transfer them to my wife's name. Depending on the state you live in, there is the expectation of marital access to firearms, so that is an option. But what you are doing, and especially since you just typed it in here, what you've just admitted to is because what you're doing may preclude you from being able to buy a firearm, having somebody else buy a firearm because you can't, even if they're a family member, is a straw purchase, which is an even bigger felony. So you need to be very careful about what you say moving forward. The definition of a straw purchase is when somebody uses somebody else to buy a firearm because they are legally not allowed to buy a firearm. If you have a medical marijuana card and your state does not allow you to own a firearm or purchase a firearm because of that reason, and you have somebody else bypass that law, even as a technicality because they're your spouse, but they're buying the gun for you, that is literally a straw purchase, and that's literally a felony. The wait time just to start the CCW is insane. Jesus Christ, man. It's like you live in Beirut. Favorite metal finish on a 1911. A nice blued finish is my favorite. Shoot the Diamondback AR-15. No. Well, I already have them beforehand. Yeah, like I said, you're fine. And like you said, it's more about what you say and how you say it. I'm not telling you what to say. I'm not telling you how to say it. But I'm just telling you what's going to happen if you say something to that effect. Jesse, if it was legitimately gifted to somebody, that's fine. But what he's talking about, and it's explicit, he just said he'll transfer him to his wife's name because he can't legally buy the gun. That is you're bypassing the law on a technicality. That is still a straw purchase, even if it was gifted. It doesn't matter. Part of that assumption of access by marital rights means that money is actually joint between the marriage, especially if you live in a 50-50 state. So any money she uses to buy a gun that she gifts to him is technically half his money anyway. So she's using his money to buy him a gift, and he's not legally allowed to buy a firearm, then it's still a straw purchase. Yeah, dude, it's like living in some shitey European country. Yeah, no kidding. Why are people asking you questions that are so easy to Google? Google actually gives really bad answers sometimes, man. I don't mind answering that question. I don't like answering value questions, but that kind of question I like to talk about. Sounds like an American loophole. No, not sure if you answered this. Does anyone make a red dot that doesn't look goofy on a 1911 operator? You have to get an RMSC. I like the Burris Fastfire, so if you look at my hold on. Sorry about that. My bad. So if you look at the optic on top of that, if it's a direct mount RMSC, something in the smaller footprint, like that's a Burris Fastfire on that 1911, I think that actually looks pretty good on there. It doesn't look ostentatious and goofy. Theoretically illegal because medical marijuana doesn't disqualify as long as that person doesn't use marijuana or their card to buy it. No, drunk. Like I was saying, when you fill out a 4473 and you get to question 21, it doesn't matter if it's prescribed to you or not. Marijuana is federally regulated. So if you have a medical marijuana card, which is literally a document saying you use marijuana and cannabis products, and you put no on a 4473, you're lying on a federal document. It's instantly a felony. Now, somebody has to prosecute it as a felony, but it's instantly a felony. And if you hit yes, you're instantly disqualified from buying a gun from them anyways. Fuel guns, I think there's Marksman's. I want to share them. How do I send them to you? Email them, jiminnyshow@gmail.com. Can I own a Glock at the age of 18? Sure. You just can't buy one from a store. Got a few old guns. Yes, I said yes. jiminnyshow@gmail.com. If it's a modern firearm, I still have to 4473. I still have to wait 10 days. Nice. Is It's a standard semi-automatic. I wish it was full auto. Like lying on my taxes every year. Yeah, but they already know you're lying. I feel like any sort of optic on a classic 1911 Goofy looks okay on a modern variant, though. Yeah. Because weed was used to push political favors and powers back in the day. 21's questions always says no, some shop wants your info to buy weed too. So Joshua, yeah, it is a tricky topic, but you can't tell people to say no, especially if they are a user, because on the 1 in a million chance you happen to be filling out a 4473 and a cop is standing next to you and smells marijuana, you're fucked. Sorry. My favorite CCW carry, 1911 full size. You're right, Jiminy, that makes sense because a medical card means it's prescribed to you, but I was thinking about a scenario where a caretaker has a card for a terminally ill person. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, it doesn't matter. It just, anything that's a documented case of you carrying, possessing, or purchasing marijuana. It's like snitching on yourself, unfortunately. 10-day wait. Yeah, so here, Maryland, which is north of me, just a little bit north of me, my buddy lives there. It's a 7-day wait for all pistols. Oh! What's the wood gun? It's an AK-47. Go back to 10:30, so go back 30 minutes ago. I do a full walkthrough. He must be a gunslinger. I own a firearms store, so technically I do sell guns, so I'm a gun seller. To summarize, if you smoke, your right to bear arms is infringed. Yeah, it's dumb, it's stupid, it shouldn't be happening. The real loophole is to get weed from a dealer. Yep, like millions of Americans do. I don't partake in marijuana. It does nothing to me, so I have no reason to. If I go buy a gun in your store, how long is the wait, or as soon as the background check passes? It all depends on how soon your background check passes. Here in the state of Virginia, there is no wait time unless you're under the age of 21. In 2023, the federal government instituted a new policy because of Uvalde, the kid that took the 2 rifles and shot up Uvalde. They instituted a new thing. You're automatically an enhanced background check if you're under the age of 21, because they are, when you sign your document, you're giving the people that check your background permission to dive even into sealed files to see if you've been committed or convicted and it was expunged. So it can be anywhere from 3 days to 18 days wait. Maryland State Police website all has banned gun list. Yeah, that's stupid. So you can have a FN 249 in Maryland. You cannot have an FN 15 because the FN 15 is a pencil barrel, free floating pencil barrel. Want to wait time if it's carry on relic because I use my FFL. Yep. What about prescription drug intake, opioids that disqualify you from a gun? No, if it's a prescribed medication, that does not show on any like standard background check. Your medication is covered under HIPAA. Because it's not, yes, opioids are federally controlled, but that's only in the issuance and prescription of that item. But it does say, are you addicted to? So if you are an addict, you're buying it illegally, shit like that, and you check no and they can prove that you're an addict, then technically they can go after you. Look at Hunter Biden. They did go after him. Despite the pardon, he still got prosecuted. No, a felon cannot be gifted a gun. You know a lot about a lot. Yeah, felons cannot be in possession of a firearm. It does not matter what the instance of acquisition is, unless you get your rights restored. Ian, yeah, it should pass the Senate. As long as it passes Senate, they'll be taken off the NFA this year. I know somebody who refused to have their info in the computer at the pot shop, and they kicked him out, but he wasn't going to have that in record, like you said, buddy. Yep. Got any bolt actions? I got a few. Do I have a Mauser? No. Also allows me to have an ammo shipped to my door because I have a certificate of eligibility. Nice. It's tricky. My state lets you grow it. Yeah, so it's a fine line. It's a very fine line. In Minnesota, you can have a musket if you're a felon. In all 50 states, you can have a musket if you're a felon. Well, California, I don't know about. But black powder firearms are not considered firearms. They're just considered black powder rifles, pistols, etc. Black powder is not a firearm. You're stuck between a Surefire or a Huxworks. Well, buy one, and then by the time you get used to it, I'm sure once the full bill's in effect, eventually it'll lower prices. Is that an AK-47? Yes. What's my favorite gun? 1911s. I don't even think it's even worth getting a CCW in California. We can't carry it anywhere but inside our homes or maybe Walmart. Ha! Walmart usually doesn't allow guns anymore. It's crazy. Nice to know if Texas usually sometimes takes an hour. Yep. So I'm an instant approval myself. I instantly approve when I buy guns. I'm looking at your wall. I don't see a Desert Eagle. Do you have one? No, I sold it. If you get pardoned, does that give you your rights back? I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question. Somebody should Google that. Hypothetical question. There's 4 intruders in your house. What weapons are you picking up to murk them? Number one, I would never say that I was intending to murder anybody. I would say I was intending to stop the threat, and I'm going to use my shotgun with buckshot first, and then I'm going to use my AR-15 with 5.56, and then I'm going to switch to my 1911. If I can't get it done with, so 30, 17, 47 plus 7. If I can't get it done with 54 rounds of ammunition, they deserve whatever they can get away with. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know about California. I forgot to say I got the Beretta Enox because I saw it on your wall and I'm very happy. Nice, Riv. Are those 1911 Super, 38 Super or 45? They're a mix of 45 and 9. The only 38 Super I have is an STI Grandmaster. All right, Ernesto, think about what you just asked. Felon, felony, federal. Doesn't matter what state you go to. If you're a felon, you're a felon. Unless you have your gun rights restored in the state in which you committed your felony, you cannot own a firearm. There's no place to shoot black powder where you live. It's also very bad for the environment. California hates that shite. Every good home defense plan includes a backhoe. No evidence. No. My home defense plan is no survivor. So my definition is the truth. Yes, I've used every gun up there that isn't new. You can't own a Kel-Tec SU-16 because it has a folding stock that still fires, but the IWI Camel has a folding stock and is not banned because it's not a copycat weapon. Yeah, Maryland is stupid. Ever thought about using salt instead of buckshot? No, because if I'm going to use a less than lethal option on an intruder in my home, I shouldn't have a gun. No offense. You want to break into my house, you get what you get. Have I ever shot a Gatling gun? No, but my buddies down at Liberty Arms own a Gatling gun. Felons can have black powder. Yes, they can. I've got a flamethrower, but it's not considered a firearm. No, it's not. More survivors equal more lawsuits. Pretty much. I used to watch you. Oh. They had the Gatling guns at the gun shop that works from The Last Samurai. They were going for $6K. Yeah, you can still buy them. 100%. My man Jeff sent me $4. He's my hero. Thinking it would just hurt more with salt. Yeah, no. So there are people that believe in using less than lethal options like rock salt and stuff, and it would definitely hurt. But again, if you break into my home, I believe your intent is to cause me bodily harm. So I'm going to cause you bodily harm. Happy Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa Happy Kanakanaba. How about a minigun? I can legally get one as soon as my class 3 comes through. You want to drop me $70K? I'll get it for you. Oh, because it's rifle length? They dropped the price. That's pretty funny. For the they call it the R50 because it's rifle. That's funny. Here in the rest of the free Americas, we call them P50s. You said you didn't like Glocks. I don't. If I could get a flintlock, I would. There you go. Make sure to add 22% for the price for taxes. Yeah. The 12 gauge kitchen sink round, fun for everyone, lol. What about 12 gauge slugs? That, in my opinion, that's overkill for home protection. Plus, you know, I don't get the spread. I use buckshot so I can get the spread. What would you do if a 400-pound toddler jump on you? I would laugh my ass off that a 400-pound toddler could jump. I love the pink Glock behind your head. It's for sale cheap. It's all screwed up. The whole finish is messed up. It has a 10-round mag. That's silly. You break into my house, you're getting a 50 cal to the chest. Jesus, Danny. But yes, do what you got to do. Best gun under $1,000. That's always so hard, man. Because I rarely ever pay more than $1,000 for any of my guns. Canic Rival S. First shell is 7.5. Bird shot. Everything after is double aught. Nah, I'm just carrying double aught these days. I am using 62 grain green tip. I don't have neighbors that I have to worry about shooting into their houses with, and all my walls are brick. Bought some boxes of Federal Rifle 12 gauge slugs for my shotgun. Nice. Have you ever heard of a gun called the TT-33? Yes, the Tokarev TT-33. I used to have one. That's the gun that I ND'd into a wall. What's your favorite gun? 1911s. R410 good for home defense? Sure. And there's actually rounds dedicated for personal defense. The PDX ones, you have, depending on how big the round is, 2.5 or 3 inch, or 2 3/4 or 3 inch. It has 3 plates and like 7 or 8 pellets. 77 grain is the Lord's 5.56. But the X-Tac in 62 was cheap. Less than $1,000, get a 12 gauge, a Glock, and have money left for Taco Bell. Or just get a bunch of Taco Bell and fart a lot. They break into your house and then it's chemical warfare. Airmax, I will see you on Friday. Thank you, sir. I keep my shotgun unloaded in a silicone-coated gun stock. It's a nice Remington 870. I keep all my shit loaded. I don't take the chance. People underestimate the humble 12 gauge number 9, 12 gauge number 9 double aught buck and 1 shell. 9 double aught buck and 1 shell is great for reasonable distance. Yes, I agree. So spread on that, they really don't open up on, like, buckshot opens up at like what, 15 to 20 yards. So inside a house you're going to get a nice tight spread. Like, it's going to be like that at like 10 yards. It's going to be like that. That's a lot of pellets. Have I ever seen 20 gauge double aught? I only get number 4 Hornady. No, I have not seen 20 gauge double aught myself. Saw a 22 revolver for $149. Dude, I sell them in my shop all day long for $125. Yeah, sorry, Drunk Mouse. I understand that. 9 in the hood and 10 in the woods. Buck and balls, best of both worlds. Yep. Is a buck knife good for home defense? I mean, if you're that close to the guy, it'll do the job. The 300 Blackout is on the wall next to the bed right above the shotgun. Yep. AJ, I just said yes. Type it again and see what happens. Did you say you messed up the finish on the pink lock? Yeah, it fell off the wall a bunch of times, so it's all scratched up, so I'm selling it very cheap. Thoughts on HKP7? I wish I still had the one I took in on trade. In 2019, I took one in on trade for a Kimber Micro 9 that I had $400 into. I should have kept that gun. Wound up selling it on Gunbroker for $3,000. You need an 870 tactical or a Glock for home defense. That's not true. I don't use either one. I use a Mossberg 930. Best 45-70 lever. I've got a Marlin 1895 myself. 10 millimeters, so expensive. Not here in Virginia. It's a little bit more than 45, but not much. If you're on a stake on U.S. gun policy and how it affects criminal rates. Gun laws only help criminals. So if I was a criminal, I would love gun laws. But as a law-abiding citizen, I don't like any gun laws. In Michigan, there's a lot of moisture in the air. What should be applied to the guns to keep them from rusting for long periods of time? They make rust preventative oils. Just make sure they're a little bit wet, that's all. All I have to protect myself is a boot knife. Favorite 30-30 Winchester 1894. Sorry, too long of writing. That's fine. Hornady ammo. I don't answer to you, Carson. Hornady ammo is marketing garbage. Ammo stick to Federal, Black Hills, and Lake City. I don't know. I like my Hornady Critical Duty. Curious question. Do you accept Sezzle? No. But if you can get Sezzle to sponsor my company, sure. I do layaways. Is 410 a chest puncher? Not really. I mean, it will hurt a lot, but it's not as fast as like 12 gauge or anything else. Costs a fortune to feed the AKs these days. Yeah. Is that your pink lock? No, it's my store's pink lock. The pistol with suppressor on the sidewall looks awesome. It is an AREX 01 Tactical. Look it up. They're awesome. They're 226 with upgrades, basically. Owen Grady slayed the Indominus Rex with the Marlin 1895 SBL. Yeah, and that's why the price of those things went up so much. My Tommy gun is rusting a little. Well, frickin' take that shit and out and use it. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. If you don't take it out and use it, it's gonna rust. I really want the new bodyguard. I need to retire my backup and like what I see with the bodyguard. Yeah, I got one up there. Damn, 75%. 75 cents is too much. Yeah, it is. Thoughts on Glock 19X? No. I'm going to take you up on layaway when I get more money. Just reach out to me. Do you know how to work on a 1970s small block Chevrolet? I was a mechanic for 12 years. I can figure it out. I just checked, and 20-round box of Federal 9, HST 9 is $40. Jesus, why are you paying so much? Well, MSRP, it's $40. Like, if I was selling it here, I'd probably sell it for a little over like $32, $33. My side quest, I want to find out what your favorite rifle is. No. Because it's California, yeah. California has ridiculous ammo, yep. You need to put 50% down and I'll order it for you. I have no problem ordering it for you, but you got to put 50% down. And at $50 a week, I also reserve the right to shoot it every week. Have I ever shot 12-gauge mini shells? Thoughts? Yes, I had them in my 590 Shockwave. I had a brace kit on the 590 Shockwave. They work fine as long as you have the adapter and a pump. They don't run well in a semi. Is a blue healer a good home protector? I don't even know what that is. Can't touch guns on lives. What's a Sandhawk? Terran Tactical Sandhawk. It's a 1911. It costs about $8,000.
Oh no, my threaded barrel protector. I got it.
My chair is squeaky because it's shit. It has a pull-out leg thing that's too short for me. There's a gun show around my birthday. Should I go? Sure. Does your store have layaway? Yes. What's the blue gun? It's a 3D printed gun. What's your opinion on the wallet size 22? It's a neat little thing, but it's not really sensible. Oh, excuse me, Nighthawk Sandhawk. I was thinking about the Pit Viper. Yeah, it's still like a 7,000-8,000. Looks like you got what country was the chair made in? This particular one came from Amazon, so I am going to assume it is Chinesium. Yeah, so Stonehawk is right. The Sandhawk is a Nighthawk. Getting a lot of what's the blue gun questions tonight. Yeah, people are weird. They have the whole John Wick collection for like $20K? No, they have the Punisher collection at Terran. It's two 1911s and it's like $18,000. The whole John Wick collection is something like $150,000 or some stupid shit because you get all like his Glocks, the shotguns, and everything. What's your opinion on Colts? Up until they just went bankrupt a year and a half ago, they sucked. Dan Wesson and CZ are working to bring their quality back up. Once they bring the quality back up, they'll be fine. Could be Canadian, though, like the good chair. Yeah, my dad still uses that one. What's your thoughts on an M16? I can't own a full auto M16 personally because they're too expensive. Do I think Punisher skulls on guns are cliche? For display, no. For carry, very, very understandable, yep. Damn, that's a house. Yeah, it is a house. Go and look up the collector here on YouTube. He has the Continental safe with the sofa and all the John Wick guns. I think he said it was like 300 grand. I mean, you can't own one and talk about it. Lol. Yeah, that's what I mean. My dad loves fund. What? How heavy are machine guns? They can vary in weight, man. You can get a Mac 9 or a Mac 10. Excuse me, not a Mac 10. Tech 9 or a Mac 10. They're very light, or you can get super heavy, man. Hello. Have you ever shot a bazooka? No. But I used to play with law rocket launchers because my dad was in the Army, and he was in the air defense, not law. I can't remember which ones he used to go. The AR-7s, the handheld ones, I think those are AR-7s. That collector guy is loaded. He is loaded. I think he's in construction and shit, but he also pays full price plus for everything, and he's a member of the Cabot Gun of the Month Club. Yet he only gets like 7 guns a month because Cabot can't fucking produce their guns, even though they're not actually custom guns. I've seen some of his videos. I'll look it up. Yeah, it's crazy. He spends millions of dollars, brags about it, and then in every single video he puts, I show you my $300,000 gun wall. I show you my this. I show you my $1 million this. Like, nobody cares, doofus. Demo Ranch didn't get popular because he said how much every gun was in every video. Am I military? No, sir. What a wuss. You talking about collector? Yeah. What's the name of the mounted weapon inside of a helicopter? It all depends on which one you're thinking of. It could be a Gatling gun, it could be a minigun, it could be a lot of different stuff. No, I'm not going to relax, buddy. Don't call me buddy, pal. You watch Kentucky Ballistics? Not really. Not ever since he blew up his Serbo. After he blew up his Serbo and his channel exploded in popularity, he started blowing up shit on purpose. And then acting like he was actually spending money when he was making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it. How much is your collection? I've never actually gone through and fully valued my collection. It's in the 6 figures, but I don't know. Gatling gun, that was it. Thank you. No problem, sir. Peach Dog. I'll check out your channel, but thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Don't call me buddy pal. Don't call me pal putty. I'm not your putty pal, buddy pal. No, saying he's a great guy. I just wish I could own 1/10 of his collection. Yeah, he's got some crazy stuff. Although a lot of his stuff is really outside of my realm. I'm a pistol guy. I appreciate ARs, AKs, etc., but I'm a pistol guy at heart. Keanu Reeves says it too. Like when he did an interview for John Wick, he's like, yeah, I'm a pistol guy. I'm a pistol guy. Them dolls is cute. In California, putting a Punisher skull on your EDC is how you lose the option to plead self-defense. Yeah, in a lot of jurisdictions, a lot of prosecutors, attorney generals and stuff, if you have stuff like that on your gun and they have any reasons to question the shoot, yeah, you can get in a lot of trouble. Having the skulls anywhere on the gun, having a flash hider or a muzzle device that says, look here, wait for flash. Even down here in the South, putting the Confederate flag or skulls on your striker plate on the back of your Glock can be used against you. That's a weird question, Dave. It all depends on who gets there first. Sorry, I'm new. I'm just curious. No problem. Hey, pal. Hey, friend. Hey, buddy. Why so sad, downright unhappy? I'm a very normal person. Here's the deal. My personality when I'm on YouTube is my basic personality. And don't take this wrong, I have laughed at some of you guys' joke on live streams. None of you are that funny. That's why it's best to carry stock guns. Yeah, I agree. I've never shot a full auto Thompson, Jackson, only a semi-auto. I do not hunt. I'm not opposed to it, I've just never gone. What's your opinion on single triangle grip? On angle triangle grips? What do you mean? Make sure to hit the like button. Yep, you look like those sloth dolls. Thank you. Oh, got it. Sorry, Danny. He's in an asshole in real life, too. It's not a show. If you're really my friend, I'll lighten up around you. But if you're not, Have I ever had a gun jam on you? Oh yeah, man. Lots of guns will jam on me. I can limp wrist a Glock and make it stovepipe every single shot. Did you ever train with James Yeager? No. James Yeager was pretty cool. It's too bad he's dead. Sure, your personality was the same in person. I didn't notice until now when you just said something. I'm a very sarcastic wit. I know it's a personal defense mechanism I employ. I'm very restrained when it comes to what I do. Although I'm not restrained in my inhibitions, I'll do whatever I want to if I think it's funny. But it's hard to get me rolling. Oh, well, I see how it is then. No, I love you, McManus. I know, right? Yeah, I didn't, up and drive a car down to you and give you good deals on guns. See, that's me being me. That's not me being nice. You ever shot a grenade launcher? I have a grenade launcher. Well, excuse me, it's a signal device, but I do have one. It's Nerf or nothing. Have you ever had a gun backfire on you? I've had ammo cook off on me. I was shooting a 22 AR suppressed, and we were firing it really fast, and it got so hot that the round cooked off. Do you know you're a funny guy? You know how to tell a joke? Do you know you're a funny guy? You know how to tell a joke? You're a funny guy. I'm a smart ass. I do have the ability to make people laugh by telling stories, but that's my job. It's not your job to make me laugh, and unless I'm in the mood to tell a joke, I'm actually pretty reserved. Jiminy's a cool dude. Maybe he just hates Stone and McManus. Yeah, a little bit. I hate everybody. Let's see. Do you have a Deagle? Not anymore, Jackson. I sold it. How fast were you firing that 22 auto? We were dumping mag after mag after mag through it. We just wanted to see how hot we could get it, and it was cooking off. What the heck do you do with your guns, Yordi? Yeah. You hate your mom. I haven't spoken to my mom since I was 18, so it's because we paid him to throw up. You also sent me rotten fish, you bastard. Definitely hates us. Let me see both of your phones and see what my picture is on your phone. Anytime, I should call you in the middle of the day. Text me when you guys are with random people, and I will call you just so other people see my titty pic on your phones. What pistol brand would you recommend for a first-time gun buyer but are experienced with shooting? I would say something like a Walther or a Smith & Wesson M&P line, Canic for sure. 1911s are always a good purchase if you can handle, like a quality firearm. Have a wall of different kinds of chemical sprays. You can. Any thoughts on getting a M67 90 Mike shoulder fire recoilless? I can get you a good deal. Send me an email. That's email. Favorite caliber? I don't really have a favorite caliber. I like guns, and some guns only come in a certain caliber, so I would rather like the gun than the caliber. Post mine on Discord. Oh my god, I should do that too with the titty pic. Everybody else has. I have not watched Lackadaisy. Oh, fudge. What about a high point? What are your thoughts on those? If you go into it with the right frame of mind, they're fine. He's also, my phone is toeless, Joe Jackson. Don't remember if I ever asked this, but thoughts on HK VP9 or VP9 SK. So the one with the match grade weight, the third one up on this row, that is a VP9. I like them. You look sleep deprived. I have very bad nerve damage and constant chronic pain, so I don't sleep the same way that all you people do. I get 1 or 2 hours at a time. Toe stickers. Oh, that's easy. Just they're blank. Once I saw a ghost. You guys do have the picture of my vajazzle. Have you ever been shot by accident? Not with a real gun. I've been shot with air guns. What are your thoughts on a Thompson? I'd love to have one, but they're too expensive. If you think a high point is going to fail, it's going to fail. What do you think about the XD 9mm? They're fine. I'm not a big fan of it's built by HS Products. It was the 2000. It's fine. Wait, how much per day? I probably get about 4 to 6 hours total, but what I do is I sleep when I get tired. So I can't just lay down and sleep because I'm in too much pain. So I stay up until I pass out. And people that have been in this stream a lot will tell you that I can pass out while I'm talking. I'm like a cat. I can literally fall asleep in the middle of a sentence and finish the sentence, apparently. You people? Yeah, white people. Stay focused. Nah. Dude, I did send you a picture. Yeah, you did send me a picture of your Crocs. What do you recommend most for EDC self-defense? If you only want to do self-defense, get a Glock. If you want, style, get anything else. Do I think Smith & Wesson or Ruger is better? It depends on what version of a gun are we talking about. What caliber? 9mm, get a 19. Wavy is what I would recommend. What's up with your not much? Jesus loves you. Cool. Hey, watch that kitty. No. I meant it as it's a good example of how I fall asleep, cats. Literally, I can just fall asleep because I stay up until I pass out. Wait, you don't like white people? I don't trust white people. White people made my people build railroads and shit. What would Glock need to do to make you a fan? Release the 46, the rotating barrel 9mm, and I might warm up a little bit. Would you recommend a Walther P38 for home defense? Sure, as long as you trust it. What's your thoughts on pellet guns for self-defense? I really don't recommend any pellet gun for self-defense, even home defense. Your chance of killing somebody are extremely low unless you get an eye shot or an ear shot or something, and it's not a good time. I know he's deceased, but did you watch Paul Harrell? Oh, dude, I watched every Paul Harrell video. I thoroughly enjoyed his videos. I don't watch his brother. His brother isn't as good of a presenter, but his channel got over 1 million subs, so. A cannon? Damn. Do you still hate Glocks? Yes. Hey, do any training? Anytime I go to the range, I will do some personal training for myself. I start at 3 yards, back up until I'm shooting at about 30 yards. You gotta look at the background, buddies. Do you like Smith & Wesson? Yes. What's your everyday carry? My everyday carry right now is a Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911. Full size. Do I watch Perry Mason? I did when it was on TV in the 80s. If you live, you go out. You said that you hated... If you live, you go out. You said that you hated Glocks. Yes, I don't like Glocks. What state do you live in? Virginia. Thoughts about carrying 7.5 Blackout in a backpack for self-defense? Backpack kind of puts it out of range of self-defense. That's more of just a carrying it. You know what I mean? Stopping in for a minute. What's up, brother? For the longest time, I love the 26. Wrenches, what's up, Sonny? You should come buy a pink Glock. Are those sloths next to you? Yes, they are. Are the serial numbers fired off? Yes, they are. You think a pistol on your waistband would be better? Yes, I do. Something with instant access is always better than something you have to pull out. You'd be better chest carrying an AR-15 rather than carrying it in the back. Why don't you like Glocks? Because they're boring, man. No innovation in 40 years. Yeah, they work. They're not perfect. They work because they have terrible tolerances, man. When you limp wrist a Glock, if you shoot a Glock while holding it loosely, and a lot of people have problems with like muscle control and shit, if you limp wrist a Glock, you can make it will stovepipe every single time because it's not good tolerances. It's just, it runs crap. Nothing against a pink gun, just no go on the Glock. I'll piss on it. You have a carry license? Yes. It's just a big pistol in a bag. I'm just worried about not getting it out in time. That's what I'm saying. I'd be worried about being able to pull it out. So if it's a secondary, like you carrying a pistol on your hip and the AR, dude, there is a magnet in my keyboard. I didn't realize that. Okay, this is a heavy piece of metal, but that's ADD, by the way. I don't even remember what I was just saying. I hate appendix carry. It has to be 3 or 5. I carry it 4. You're gonna buy it? Yay! Hey, your wife will like it just as much as the Chiappa. They're disposable pretty much. Do you like a 12 gauge? Yes. Is it easy to get a carry license? There are steps you have to follow, such as taking a class and then submitting your application, but it's not terrible. You still hate Glock. VR, yes, I hate Glocks. Ask again, I won't answer it. If you had to keep only one gun, nah, I don't play that game. I carry the pistol appendix, it's the only way. Sorry, my dick is in the way all the time. It's much, much too high up on my body because I keep it in a brown paper bag. AK-47. Yep, that's the Woodstock. Have you seen the new 8.6 Blackout caliber? If not, you got to watch the Garand Thumb video. I don't watch Garand Thumb. He's a womanizer, a cheater, and he left his family twice, apparently, as I'm hearing. I knew he did it once. I watched the PewView video, though. It was pretty good. Are revolvers still relevant in this modern era? Actually, they are. You can get 357s that can hold up to 8 rounds, so that's as many as a frickin' 1911, and you don't have to police your brass. Who's your favorite comedian, dead or alive? My favorite comedian, dead or alive? That is a great question. Red Skelton. He's dead, but he was one of my favorite. I do 4 o'clock, but I got them love handles. Yeah, how many times you stream do you answer you hate Glocks? Quite a bit. If you hate Glocks, why do you have one? Because I own a Gunstore. I own an FFL. Also, owning Glocks means I can bitch about them. People that bitch about stuff they don't even own, don't listen to them. I own the Glocks, so I can tell you my true opinion on Glocks. You can have cylinder problems, like on a Taurus revolver. If you pull the trigger too fast, you can actually pull it out of timing. I do not watch Has-Been. George Carlin, yeah, he was funny. He had a lot of years, dude. I wouldn't say they killed George Carlin. John Panette, you know, you've been here for an hour, you gone now. He died early. You carry your full size in the small of your back. No, I carry it at 4 o'clock on my hip, and actually a lot of times I carry it in my front pocket. So this is an urban carry holster, and this clip works in my pocket, and it has a Kydex retention for the bottom of the trigger. It doesn't actually get near the trigger itself, it just grabs the bottom of the trigger guard. So when I'm carrying one without a light, this is the one I use. I put it in my pocket, and it's great. What do I feel about Final Destination? It's fine. I'm not really into that style. The first couple were good, but then they got meh. Do I like Jeff Dunham? Yes, but he's another one of those. He left his wife for a younger model. You've shot plenty of Glocks. They never appealed to you. So I had to replace the pink Glock in my store, so I had to buy another one out of my pocket. So I own that one personally now. I mean, technically I own all the guns in my store because it's my freaking store, but that one is in my personal collection now, so I'm gonna beat the shit out of it if I don't sell it. What gun is the 1-3 up from the Glock? There's 2 Glocks, so I'll tell you both. That one is so 3 up. That's an HK VP70 and a Canik TP9 SFX. Do high points work better when suppressed? They're full blowback, so maybe. Would you ever use a single action revolver or EDC one? I would not, personally. Change it up. Best actor in TV or movies. Believe it or not, best actor would probably be... I'm thinking. It's hard. Oh, God. Everybody's got my titty pics. I'm going to die under mysterious circumstances, and that picture is going to show up on every documentary they make of me. Who made better guns in World War II, Germans or Americans? Americans. John Goodman. So, John Goodman was very, very, very funny for a while, but I wouldn't really call him a comedian, stand-up. What do you use for self-defense? What to use for self-defense if you don't have a gun? A taser, a pepper ball gun, or your phone? You got nice tattoos. Thank you, sir. You hate me? I don't hate you. It just when you ask the same question over and over, I just don't answer it anymore. Check the latest one. I've never shot anybody, thankfully. I'm prepared to if I need to. But, you know. Oh, Thank you. I appreciate that's a much better picture. Games you like. I like Mass Effect. I like Mass Effect 1 through 3. I didn't like Andromeda. I'm hoping 5 will be pretty good. And then Forza Horizon 5. The whole Forza Horizon series. And then Fallout 4. Hey, Jim, have you ever shot a gun before? Nope. Don't even know what a gun is. Germany definitely had the better firearms. No, they had the better quality, but they didn't have the better functioning firearms. Otherwise, you know, things. Khaled, it's not a shadow. It's just a SP01 with blue grips. But thank you. Am I half Japanese? No, I'm half Korean. Not a comedian. Actor, if that's the question, then John Candy. Oh, yeah, John Candy was great. What's the coolest gun you have in your opinion? My STI Grandmaster. It's not up on the wall right now, but yeah. Eli Smith has watched the news recently. I like that pic much better. Yeah, me too. It's much more realistic and friendly. You should send me a copy of it. I actually don't have that picture. You have a Heritage Rough Rider 4.5, 22 and tackle box for cottonmouths and copperheads. That works. I'm actually bringing in some 22 Magnum Snake Shot because I have a 22 Magnum cylinder for the barkeep. I've never been shot with a real gun. I've been shot with BB guns. Thoughts on the Fallout 4 assault rifle? I mod the crap out of my games because I hate every single gun in the Fallout 4 series except the Deliverer pistol because that's just a PPK. Since I've been away for a bit, how's the store going? Pretty good, actually. Very good. You should stop in sometime, dude. A lot more inventory. I mean, just to hang out and check it out. I mean, you don't have to buy anything. Did you hear anything about Glock coming out with the Gen 6? I was at the NRA show. They really didn't say anything, and the Gen 5 has only been around for like 3 years, so probably not. 4 years? Yeah. Blue Shadow versus the Browning. That's not a Browning. That's a Tanfolio Witness, which is another 75. Do you have it suppressed? Yeah. Look at my wall before you ask me questions, brother. I'm trying to be nice, dude, but look at my wall. Have I seen the new PSA copy? No, I have not. Do I own a 410 double barrel shotgun? No, I have a 410 pump though. Ronaldo says hi. Jacob says, do you have a Glock 19? Look at my wall before you ask questions. What do I think about knives for self-defense? If it's all you can carry, then do it. But you got to be very close to the person you're fighting, so keep that in mind. Are fanny packs back in fashion? Fanny packs never went out of fashion, Fract. Favorite melee weapon in Fallout 4? So my favorite melee weapon is probably the Super Sledge, the one with the big jet engine on the back that supposedly makes it go faster. Name of your gun store. Wind City Armory. It's in Winchester, Virginia. Pewley. Hey, were bullets invented before guns? Well, black powder and gunpowder were invented long before guns. It kind of would have looked stupid if somebody invented a gun and didn't have anything to put in it, buddy. I'll do that. I've been working a lot. Seems like life keeps kicking the hell out of me lately, but I'll see what I can do. Yeah, man, just stop by to hang out, dude, since you're local. How easy is it to get a shotgun? In the United States, very easy. What's your tiniest gun? I have a I have a Colt Junior in 25 ACP. My second smallest would be my Colt 1903 hammerless. You should get the Sloths in 25 ACPs. It's too close to me. If they were holding guns, YouTube would think they were children holding guns, and then they would kill my shit. Have you ever been to Sick Week? No, I've heard of it, but I've never been to it. You need to find Adam's Judgment then. Super Sledge with like 200 rad damage. It's awesome. The best part about Fallout 4 is I can just Google the item code. I've probably had it though. First modern cartridge was a 7x67 in 1893. Nice. Do you go shoot every day? No, I shoot every week though. Did not hear about Jonathan Joss. Hey Tank, what's up? What's required to buy a shotgun? Valid ID with a current address on it and money. Such neat little guns. They are fun. You have a revolver? Yes. Personally, I have the Ruger GP100, a Model 629, and an SP101. Do I got the Echelon 4.0 compact? No. I can order them. I need to bring in a couple for the store. I'm still filling out my cases. I'm working on bigger loans. Got a picture with SRC Billy's brother. I don't know who that is. Have you heard of a Rossi 357 revolver? Yes. Guns on my wall. Only a few of them are loaded, and I'm not telling you which ones. It's kind of like Who Wants to Make a Deal. So you break into my house, I'm going to clip you with a shotgun, and then I'm going to pull guns down one at a time until we find the loaded one. What do you think of the 5.7? It's fine. You have a spamming gun. What do you mean spamming gun? Have you heard the song about Shia LaBeouf? No. Need a review before I buy the Echelon. I did one on the regular one. Honestly, the compact is snappier, but it shoots basically the same. He's a drag racer. Got it. What are the challenges of owning a gun store? Making sure my paperwork is correct, paying my taxes on time, and dealing with idiots. But owning a gun store is, because it's a federally controlled store, you know, federally controlled license, you got to be very careful. Yes, I have heard of the Calibri. Pretty cool. Are the Rossies good guns? They're fair. They're not like high quality. They're not going to compete with the Python or anything like that. Best micro would be the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. Yep, I did see that John Redcorn's. Oh, that was him, wasn't it? Okay. But yeah, you can get a pistol without a carry or concealed license. Yes, if you're over 21 years old. No, a Prodigy 5-inch comp is not a good intro to 1911s because it's a 2011. Soap, ask your question. If it's stupid, you get banned. Keep that in mind. Have you ever used a bayonet? Not on a person. That guy from the video that dropped all the ammo on the floor. Yeah, I'm a good ammo. I have a Smith & Wesson SD40. Nothing wrong with that. Sorry, meant 2011. It's fine. It's a little more expensive than it should be considering it uses MIM parts. But if you can get one for a good price. Do I have a Glock 19? Look behind me, yes. Basically above me. Is a fanny pack a good way for concealed carry? As long as you can get the gun out quickly. Biggest gun you've ever shot? Barrett, M82A1. Opinion on the SAS SBS. What is that? You talking, is that the Bull Armory? What price, ruh? Best entry level 1911. Rock Island or Auto Ordnance? Rock Island all day long. Auto Ordnance is owned by Carr, and their shit's too expensive for what they do. They want $700 for their GI. Screw that. You like Colt Commanders? No, I don't like Commander size 1911s. All mine are 5-inch, except for the 1345, which is a 4.4. Smallest gun you ever shot? Probably my Colt Junior in 25. Thoughts on permitless or constitutional carry? It's fine if you do it. Great, whatever. More armed, law-abiding citizens is great. But the thing to keep into mind is you might want to still consider getting a CCW, because if you want to leave your state and go into a state that doesn't have constitutional carry or won't respect your constitutional carry, then you need a license. So you might as well just have the license. Here in the state of Virginia, we recognize all 50 states' concealed carry license. So anybody with a concealed carry license from any other state can come to Virginia and carry concealed. But people, 10 miles up the road from me in West Virginia with constitutional carry cannot carry in the state of Virginia unless they have a CCW. So I would recommend, if you travel between states often, that you get a CCW anyway.
But it says U.S. Army on the slide.
Actually, I mean, they might have a model that does, but like the one I have says just model M1911A1. What's your best opinion on any gun? Use it, train with it, and learn it. Do you have an ARP? Yeah, I've got several. Just I don't put a lot of ARs up on my wall. Who's William Afton? Again, when you drop names, I don't know a lot of names. I do apologize. I know people, but I don't know like personal names very well. Best Micro 9 in your opinion? I'm not a big fan of that question because I don't like Micro 9s. Probably the 365 though. A few exceptions, such as New Jersey, New York, Maryland, and California. Did they add those since the last time I looked it up? Is SD40 good? It's fine. I only have pre-car A1 models, and it's sweet. Oh, gotcha. How much is your 300 blackout? I don't have a 300 blackout that I'm selling currently, so. Does ARP mean AR pistol? Yes, sir.
Cheapest reliable shotgun. Maverick 88, Stevens 320. Those are all pretty damn reliable. You can get some of them in the $200. He's a video game character. Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry, Five Nights out at Freddy's came out too late after I became an adult. I never watched it. Jericho guy dropping by to say hi. Hello. Do you ship to New York's FFLs? Yes, I do, as long as it's a gun that isn't banned. What's the latest gun you bought? So it's now 11:49. 12 hours ago, I bought a Dan Wesson DWX optics cut. That's when I paid for it. Yesterday, I bought a Keltec P15 aluminum frame and a Daria 9, the DY9 for the store. Best 10.5-inch AR-15 for the money. Probably Bravo Company or Daniel Defense. You own a bar? No, I don't. That would be cool. What's the latest gun you sold? Yesterday I sold... I sold my Taylor's and Company 357 Magnum. Forgot to tell you, California CCW is only good for 2 years, and you have to renew it. Jesus, here it's 4 years or 5. I heard about the DY9. Yeah, so Daria Arms DY9 is a Glock-inspired gun. Not all the parts are interchangeable. It's kind of like the Fusion firearm shit, but I got the optics cut with the lightning cuts and the slides for a very reasonable price, and I can run my rainbow barrel in it and shit and suppress it. Yeah, I know what you were talking about, Danny. I would like to get one, though. You look gone. I'm getting a little bit tired right now, bud. When I read shit for a long time, it really kills my eyes. I got LASIK 18 months ago, and they screwed it up. So, you know, when I was younger, I couldn't read far away, but now I can, but it kills my eyes. My eyes dry out. In fact, Eric Church, who's a country singer, has the same problem I do. When we read, our eyes dry out, so... Thoughts on the Chevy 454? Old 60s and 70s, good. 80s and 90s, just a lumpy iron truck engine. They're pretty fun. Is it worth buying Canic? Yes. Sue, what's up? What's the best deal you have in your shop, in your opinion? Probably my Sig Sauer XF5 right now, because it comes with an upgraded trigger and an optic and the gun for under the cost of just the gun normally. You going until 12? Yeah, I got 10 minutes left in me. Those all your guns? They are my guns. It's not all my guns. Can I get a non-resident VA CCW? Yes. You'd have to go online and do it, though. Amanda LASIK, thank you for the advice when I get older. Yeah. Thoughts on the Mustang SUV? Stupid. Yes, the gun nut is back, lol. What's up, Todd? Good starter 9mm for $350. A used Glock. CZ P10F or P10C, Beretta APX A1, Canic TP9 series. Can you show the SIG? I can't pick up the gun, but it's an X5 Legion. It's on my website, Wind City Armory. Takes longer, I believe, for no VA, and it's still a class in person after COVID. Yes, if you don't have a CCW, you do have to take a class, but you can get non-resident cards without taking a class. As long as you already have a CCW, you can get non-resident cards without taking a class. Might buy a Maverick 88 when it's on. What is the paperwork you got to do? It's just a standard 4473 federal background check, and if you're an out-of-state resident and you want to carry it home, you have to do the background check here in the store and provide your driver's license and a second form of ID if you're out of state. Best upgrade for the SD40, just a good set of sights. X5 Legion, is that the integral comp thing? No, the X5 Legion has the tungsten frame. You're thinking of the Spectre comp. I've never played Resident Evil Village. It's not my genre. I don't like it. Will the SIG go off on its own? No, it will not. That only referred to base 320s with the curved triggers and guns built before 2021. The X5 didn't come out until 2023. You carry a utility knife as a gun? If so, what do you carry? I carry a knife. I carry just a flip-out Tanto blade, QB. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hey, MDL, do you have a Desert Eagle? Or is it illegal? No, they're legal. I just sold mine because nobody wanted to pay for the ammo. They used to waste my money. I don't know anything about Ted Williams shotguns. Hello, drummer boy. A lot of Desert Eagle questions tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody must have done a video on Desert Eagle on YouTube or something.
Do I have a 50 cal? Not anymore. Are you into crossbows? Not really. I don't have good hands and stuff, so I can't really pull the string on good crossbows. Thoughts on the Escalade V? It's a great way to spend 140 grand. 50 AE is not cheap. No, and during COVID, when I was working at Middletown Firearms, dude, people were mag dumping my freaking gun at $7 a round, or not $7 a round, $4 a round. Can you put a gun on a drone? Not legally. You like the Springfield Hellcat Pro? It's fine. I'll be honest, I did a video on the Hellcat Pro and I don't even remember doing it. So the gun was basically unoffensive to me. It's like I've done car reviews back when I did car reviews on cars. I don't even remember doing them because the cars were so boring. It's kind of the same way with the Hellcat. I did 58 for my dad's birthday. Yep. Almost bought a Desert Eagle and 357 Magnum. So I never got a hold of the dude at the gun show because he had a great price on his. I should have bought it. I don't have an M416. If you're talking about the HK 416, no, because real ones are extremely expensive. God is God. Well, you're not wrong. Any used guns for sale? Yes, go to Wind City Armory. There's an entire section of used guns. What's your take on the SIG 938 for daily carry? Train with it, get used to it, make sure you're good with it, and it's actually a really solid gun. Do I have an assault rifle? No, I have a lot of rifles, but assault rifle is a term used to make them seem scary to people. There's no such thing as an assault rifle. What's under the AR with the silencer? That is the AREX 01 Tactical. It's chambered in 9mm. It's really cool. It's basically a 226, but way better. Oh, like Doug DeMuro? I'd have to watch a few of his videos. Also, he has a very high-pitched voice for as big as he is. It really throws me off. Was I a firefighter? Negative. Damn, you're the dude. Thank you. It's kind of hot with those guns, not going to lie. Thank you. I'm gun sexual. No, it's just the P320 Spectre comp, not Spectral comp. Now you're just being a goofer. Do you have any 6.5 Creedmoor? In stock? Yes. Doug DeMaro, yep. I own a P320X Compact. Should I be concerned? Okay, I'm going to say this again. It only applies to pre-2021 guns with the curved trigger. You have the X trigger, the flat face trigger. That gun is not affected. Okay? It has to be before 2021, and it has to be a base model gun, M17, M18, or SIG P320. Because the trigger system with the curved trigger is too soft, along with the design of their drop safety combined together, made those guns unintentionally discharge. What if you have one pre-2021? Do you send it back? You contact Sig Sauer. They have a telephone number on their website. You give them the serial number of your gun. They will tell you if it's under the serial number recall list. Then you would send it to Sig Sauer. They will rebuild it for free. Always wanted a Desert Eagle 50 AE, but as I get older, I don't see me getting one. It's impractical for any type of serious shooting. Yeah. Banana Ballistics is all right. I haven't watched it in a while, but they're pretty good reloading, testing, and data. That's pretty cool. Is a Shockwave good for home defense? Yes, as long as you get used to the bird's head grip, or if you get one and put the SBA brace on it. But the brace is expensive these days because they don't make it anymore. Have I ever worked in other types of retail other than gun and car? Yes. When I started as a youngster, I started working, my first job was at a grocery store. Then I worked at a gas station, and then I worked at several different movie theaters. I worked at a buffet, which is where I went from 160 pounds to 300 plus in 6 months. I also worked at Funkoland before it became GameStop, Toys R Us, lots of places. I started selling cars in 2001, and I did that. Basically, that became my life. My dad's 58 is his home defense. Yep, I could see renting a Desert Eagle, but I wouldn't want to own one. Yeah. I think Jiminy hates you. No, I'm fine with McManus. Those two next to you pandas. No, they're sloths. Wait, did McManus say something while I was talking? Sorry, dude. I'm about to pass out. Unfortunately, I was a victim to a drop fire injury from another striker-fire pistol that actually stole their design from SIG. Well, then you have a lawsuit. How does any of the MPU 320 builds fail under the SIG recall? I don't know, man. You got to call them with your serial number. You're good, lols. I made a smart-ass comment about SIGs. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm about to pass out. Isaac, I actually don't do a good Asian accent, even though I am Asian. Where do you take your firearms to send out for warranty work? You need to contact the manufacturer first, and then you would take it to an FFL and have it shipped. Now, most FFLs will charge you to ship it, but that's life. It's almost your bedtime. It is my bedtime. I'm going to do one more walk around with the guns, and then we are going to get out of here. Oh, they always make fun of people when they aren't in here. People are brave, but I make fun of McManus to his fucking face. Bloop Tube. Plus, he has a stack of stickers of me wearing a bikini and a cat suit. So, honestly, we both deserve what we get. AK-47, DB-15, AREX 0 with the suppressor. Gerson 2311. AREX Alpha. Yeah, I give 0 fucks. Yeah, pretty much. That's the way to live it. Last stream, I was letting people get to me. I don't do that anymore. SIG 1911X in stainless. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. The Yeet Cannon. 92 FS Ghost. Para Ordnance 1345. Mitchell Arms Gold Series 95. Springfield Copperator. Glock 19 MOS. SPO1. X5 Legion. TP9 SFX. FK Burno, that's not mine. Jill Valentine's Beretta, that's not mine. HK VP70, that's not mine. HK VP9, that is mine. Tanfolio Witness, that's mine. Glock 22, that's mine. SR9C, that's mine. 19X clone. Jesus, I actually called it a 19X. I am so tired. G3X, PSA Rock, Canic, Meta, SFT, and the Taurus PT92 Compact, and the Remington 870. So, yeah, you can contact me at Wind City Armory. So, the Resident Evil. Is the Resident Evil pistol for sale? No, that's my buddy Alex's. That's the one Resident Evil gun he's not willing to sell. He's got like $4,000 tied up in it anyways. You could duplicate it for less. I'm new to guns, want to get my first pistol. I've been looking at the P365. Nice. All right, guys. Cats, thank you so much. You have a good one. Yeah, McManus. That's why he can't sell it. It's too damn expensive. The sloths say, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. So, well, man, have a great night. Yeah, it was nice that you were in here the whole thing tonight, McManus. Thank you, dude. Wrenches, dude, call me. Stop by sometime. We'll have some fun. Stone, you have a good night. Especially when you take my scratch and dent Glock. Nighty night, y'all. All right, I'm going to hit this button, and we are going to end the live stream. So, later, Gators. All right, CWL. Night. Everybody, good night. Somebody buy my STI from me, God damn it. How do you feel